Welcome to the PP Show, where the D-Gens come to have discussions. Here at the PP Show, everyone has a voice, no matter how long you've traded in the markets. We love all opinions at the PP Show, and we hope you do too. Always remember this show is mainly comprised of opinion, speculation, and entertainment. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, you dildo enthusiasts. God bless Teddy and G-Merica. One last thing, always remember, talk is cheap. It takes money to buy whiskey.
Fellas, how the fuck you doing tonight, man? It's great to see you guys. Hope you guys have been well as we get together again on another episode here of the PP Show. We got a whole lot to unpack this evening, man. A lot of exciting stuff. Obviously, Ryan Cohen posting himself in a photo being wrapped up, man. I think a lot of things are, in fact, wrapping up here pretty damn soon, man. So, a lot of stuff to dive into. Things regarding PCRs, things like that. You've probably been seeing Leroy talk about it out there as well across X. Some of these PCRs, why are they not being essentially submitted, right? So again, we're going to take a look at a couple of those things. We'll take a look at GameStop. Jake had a couple posts regarding this new GMEU, which is a new ETF for GameStop. So it's very interesting stuff, fellas. Obviously, a lot to unpack here as well. Switch 2 just fucking launched too. So, I think that, we could in fact be heading for a pretty big quarter when it comes to GameStop as well. So, a lot to unpack here this evening. Great to see you guys. Let's get in the legality. We'll jump straight into it. Won't waste any more time here. Good to see you guys here on this Friday night. So keep in mind, man, I am not a financial expert, nor am I a financial advisor. So please seek the avenues to do so, all right? You're not going to find it here. A lot of this is opinion. A lot of this is speculation. A whole bunch of it is entertainment, if you haven't guessed it already. We like getting together. We like talking about the stock, and that's really all there is to it, man. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind, any guests who come to the show, man, nobody here is a professional. So if you hear any opinions, speculation, TA, things like that, keep in mind, man, nobody here is a professional. We like getting together. We like talking about the stock, and that's really all there is to it. So let's fucking dive into it, man. This evening, chat, please give a warm welcome to none other than Travis the Stripper. All right, what's going on, Travis? Great to see you this evening. We don't have Michael with us this evening. He's got some commitments when it comes to the wife. So luckily, we got Travis here with us this evening. How you doing this evening, Travis? Let's hear it.
I'm good. Happy Friday, man. It's good to be here.
Excellent. Good stuff. Yeah, a lot to unpack here. Obviously we saw today a post with Ryan Cohen. At one point there was one time, if people have been watching the show as long as they have, there was a time when there was a lot of DD that was focused on a lot of like Jewish types of aspects, things like that. So it looks like the Jewish DD is in fact making another comeback here when it comes to whatever it is that Ryan Cohen was essentially posting here this late or early evening / late afternoon. What are your thoughts on some of this stuff, Travis? Obviously, there was this photo that we got today. There was also the launch of the new ETF when it comes to GameStop as well. What are your thoughts on some of these things before we dive into some of this stuff here?
Interesting photo. I noticed he didn't post it himself, but he did comment on it, and he said, I'm not going to say it out loud, but what does BH stand for after attack?
So, someone said it was something here. I'll pull it up. We'll go ahead and read it here. We'll start there real quick. It was BH. Hold on one second. Let me just find this.
Somebody said it's a Jewish thing backstage. I don't know who that is.
Oh, damn. I have so many tabs open. I'm trying to find the right one. Hold on one second. No, this is about the Tefillin. Here it is right here.
Who's House Cat backstage?
House Cat's been on the show a couple times. Good to see you, House Cat.
Well, I had to go translate the name because it's in Japanese. Interesting.
Are you still there? Looks like why did my webcam just crash?
You crashed.
Hold on. What the fuck is going on here? What the fuck? I went to go share this photo and why is this crashing right now? Hold on, let me reload.
All right, I'll hang out here by myself. Hi chat, how y'all doing? Oh man, well, while we wait for PP to come back, and there he is, picture and all.
That was fucking weird. Yeah. Sorry, house cat's fucking with my shit backstage here. All right, let's see if this works. Maybe it was just a small glitch. I don't know. That was very odd. All right, so
You better have my money.
yeah, here's the photo that we are referencing here when it comes to Ryan Cohen as well. It says this is from Yossi Faro. I'm not too sure who this guy is. Someone said that he goes around rapping like very famous Jewish people. I don't know if that's true or not. But again, there are a couple things to obviously break down here with what's happened today. Obviously, Ryan Cohen is kind of in this like sort of rapping type of thing. And the thing that Travis didn't want to say here was what Ryan said. He says, those damn Jews, BH.
I'm not having somebody clip that.
Does anyone know what BH is? I thought someone had written under here what BH was. What the hell does the BH mean?
So House Cat backstage said it's a Jewish thing.
Uh-huh.
Hi, buddy. All right, have fun. I love you. And so he says hi. And so I don't know. I mean, somebody said it's a Jewish thing. Okay, there you go. House Cat with the info backstage. Baruch Hashem. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I could be way off the mark here.
Uh-huh.
Doing my best. Blessed is God is the translation, basically. So
blessed is God. Yeah, that's what people are saying in the chat as well.
I see it in the chat now too. So I don't know what they're doing.
Someone said Berkshire Hathaway. I don't know. It is weird because it did like pump like $20,000 around that time too, didn't it? So I don't know. It is pretty weird. Nonetheless, but I think one of the main things, obviously, to take from what's going on here is someone had pointed this out too. Ninja Mode. He said that didn't the docket today? We'll take a look at that docket as well. It said released today for the bogus 350 stalling tactic claim have a passage in Hebrew at the end of the manifesto. And I think you have that docket available, right? We can take a look at that.
I have it available. I already translated it.
Ari Bustle. And here's the Hebrew down at the bottom of that page for everyone to see. Let me see if I can make it bigger for everyone. But again, this is very interesting if you ask me, right? I mean, yeah, obviously he's commenting on the picture itself. But again, you know, when you kind of piece these things together with what's going on, like especially with just recently, right? I made a comment to someone earlier today. You know, take into account the fact that the day that he buys, Ryan Cohen buys more shares in GameStop, okay, is the same day that the board essentially settled with their, you know, fraud case and all that stuff. So I do think a lot of these things are in fact connected. Yes, he is, you know, commenting to this person who, I think his name's Yossi, where they went and, you know, did this kind of Jewish tradition. But I do think that there's some kind of code there, right? And someone also said you should take a look at his hat as well. If you see on his hat too, I think someone had written it down in here somewhere, maybe not, but his hat, let me see if I can show you guys on here.
Ooh.
Yeah, it says the future looks bright is what it says on his hat. You see that there?
I can't make it out. Let me see if I can make it bigger. The future looks, maybe it is bright.
Yeah, it is. Someone has a better picture of it as well. So again, you have to ask yourself, you know, why the timing now, right? Some people think that maybe this is in fact just some kind of like, obviously it is some kind of like tradition that they're celebrating things like that, but I do think it's some kind of a message, right? And there's another post that I want to take a look at here, just since we're on the topic of this already.
Can I be that guy and ask what is Tefillin?
Yeah, I actually have a post that.
All right, and take your time. If I'm asking prematurely because you want to get to something else first, go ahead. Just a question.
No, yeah, I have the Tefillin. Yeah, I have this one right here. I'll go to that one momentarily. Yeah, just in 1 second. So obviously this is from Bobby in 2001. It says, at PPCRs, I think you should take a look at this, everybody. And this kind of resembles almost like the present, right? I don't know. You know, to me, the first thing whenever I saw kind of Ryan Cohen wrapped up, one of the major things is that obviously some people are pointing out that, you know, maybe this deal is in fact wrapped up. I think maybe that there's a very real possibility because, one of the last tweets that we did in fact see from Roaring Kitty was some kind of like a present, right? That was kind of like up here at the top left. So I don't know, could it just be that he's kind of commenting on this kind of tradition, or is he kind of trying to send some kind of coded message? I don't know. I believe that, Ryan Cohen kind of posts things for a reason, right? So I do think it's some kind of message that maybe this is in fact wrapped up, if you ask me. So
what is Tefillin?
I'll pull it up for you right now.
I'm curious, man. I'm on the edge of my chair here.
Tefillin is the name given to two black leather boxes with straps, which you saw on him, which are put on by adult Jews for weekday morning prayers and are worn on the forehead and upper arm. They are also called prayer boxes or phylacteries. The entire prayer box and straps are made from the skin of kosher animals as well. That's what it says.
Oh, so it's a religious thing. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is all very interesting. Let's take a look at the docket that has the Hebrew in there, because I'm curious, maybe he's referencing this docket that we saw from today. Do you want me just to read the snippet here, or do you want me to read the entire thing? Because isn't it just like some bogus claim that came through today? Did you happen to take a look through it?
I didn't read it in its entirety. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a completely bogus claim. It's somebody saying, hey, you're saying that we should be class 6, and I have proof that I really maybe shouldn't be. Maybe they have some, sway here that it's $350. Plan man, pay them. Go for the bigger fish. I'm not worried about this one. And now, if they're saying that the entire class and everything that got moved shouldn't have, that could halt things or hold things up, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help but think that maybe he is in fact implying maybe this docket that came in today. I mean, again, like the fact that it has Hebrew here at the bottom. Did anyone actually break down what this Hebrew says, this message here?
I'm sorry, one more time?
What is the message down here in Hebrew
let me
say?
pull it up on my other screen. I had it translated. And it says, and a man will help his neighbor, and to his brother Hezek will say. That's what Google Translate said.
So isn't it what it says right here? They helped every one of his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage.
Yeah. And again, I took a snip, uploaded the image to Google Translate. That's what it gave me. So it's basically the same Bible verse, but in Hebrew.
Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he could be sorry, I was messaging House Cat here. I don't know. Maybe he could be implying that something is most likely probably wrapping up here, right? I mean, it's obviously been a long time coming. A lot of us have been waiting for quite a while. There was a couple explanations to this. I'll read this guy's post here, and then we'll take a look at some of the docket stuff and some of the stuff that Jake 2B had written as well today. From Shadow Warrior, it says, everything you need to know, I guess. He says these images show a recent meetup between Yossi Faro and Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, where they are participating in the Jewish ritual of wrapping Tefillin, a traditional practice typically done in the morning during prayer. The tweet from Yossi Faro refers to Cohen as the legendary entrepreneur and mensch, a Yiddish term meaning a person of integrity and honor, is what it says. It says here, breakdown of what's in the photos, one location and setting. They appear to be in a bright, modern location, possibly a hotel or private residence, with a view of water and high-rise buildings in the background, possibly in Miami or a similar coastal city, is what it says. It also says Tefillin. Ryan Cohen is seen wearing Tefillin, black leather boxes containing Hebrew scriptures, bound with straps around the arm and forehead in line with Jewish tradition. From Deuteronomy and Exodus, this act is very symbolic in Jewish faith, especially when done publicly by someone of influence. Public reaction, the initial tweet from Yossi Faro was respectful and celebratory. However, a controversial follow-up tweet appears to come from Ryan Cohen's verified account saying, those damn Jews, BH. This phrase is inflammatory and highly questionable in tone, is what it says. It says here, possible tinfoil / conspiracy elements, account compromise theory. That tweet is extremely out of character for Ryan Cohen, who has been careful with public image and branding. It may suggest a possible account hack or impersonation. Some users speculate that this could be a deepfake AI generated reply. Yeah, I don't think that's what it is. I think he's just kidding. Honestly, again, Ryan Cohen does a lot of joking around, that's very, some would say controversial, I guess.
Dark sense of humor.
Call it. Yeah. And again, even Ryan Cohen himself is Jewish. So, yeah, I don't think it's like AI, things like that. He says, final notes here. The photos themselves seem authentic and peaceful. The comment shown in the second image is extremely questionable and potentially manipulated or a result of an account hack. Yeah, I don't think it is an account hack, but most certainly I think that he's trying to point something out. It does say the future is bright. The future looks bright is what it says. And again, some people say that, look, PP, this is just some kind of Jewish tradition, things like that. Sure. And I agree with you, right? But I do think that Ryan Cohen intentionally posts and points out certain things for a reason. And I think this is one of them, right? Because very easily he could have participated in this and been like, yeah, I just don't want my photo shared, things like that. And so be it, right? And to be honest with you, a lot of you out there, even if this photo was probably posted by Yossi, maybe a lot of us would have probably missed it if Ryan Cohen hadn't commented on it himself, right? So I do think that he is pointing something out here, most certainly to a lot of us. Not only that he's kind of participating in this Jewish tradition, I think that most certainly that he's throwing some tinfoil our way as well. And again, that's just kind of my own opinion about it. So anything that you want to add here? We'll bring up House Cat in here as well. Anything else with Tefillin or any of this stuff, Travis? Let's hear it. We got a lot of stuff to jump into today.
I'm actually on another screen, zooming in on the photo, creeping as I do.
What are you creeping looking at?
I want to no, well, because there's two boats in the background. You have a canal, something that looks like Miami, maybe Boca area.
Where do you think this is?
I'm looking for palm. Yeah, there's a palm tree for sure. So
we need someone to look up where those buildings are and where the fuck
Bingo.
This location is right across. You see the buildings out there in the distance? Where the fuck could this be at?
That looks like a big hotel. I don't know if that's two buildings or one.
It's either Miami. It's possible. It's most likely Miami, right?
Maybe.
Where's Bill Ackman from? When this Yossi guy was pictured with Bill Ackman too. Bill Ackman lives in Miami as well, right?
I have no idea where Bill Ackman lives, so you're asking the wrong person. I would say if you gave me 30 minutes offline, off air, I could almost pinpoint this house.
Someone said Noble says it's Bal Harbor. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I believe that.
It's Cohen's
that's where
house?
Ryan lives. Yeah.
That I don't know. It could be. I don't know.
Could even be his house. Yeah.
Sunny Isles, Florida. Maybe we'd have to track the buildings back there as well. I'll zoom in these as well. I'll bring in House Cat.
No, don't go creeper all over live. No.
That's how you fucking figure it out. House Cat, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Yes,
you
can.
Man.
Look at these buildings, fellas. Perfect, Someone pinpoint this shit. Get on a fucking map or something. Where is this?
Oh, make you do it.
There's a body of water and some buildings.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Could you imagine if maybe it is Bal Harbor?
It's based in Brooklyn, New York. The Talmudical Seminary Ohele Torah Connection. In Brooklyn, New York. The Yasso Faro.
You think this is Yasso's house?
That's what it says on Grok. I don't know. Grok is helping me find it. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's see.
I'm just curious. It's not like it's not like creepy or anything. It's curiosity, right? I mean, where the fuck is this? Is it Miami? Where is it? Where could it be? But either way, while you guys are, if you guys are looking for that in the background, that's fine. We'll go ahead and start taking a look at some of this other stuff as well. House Cat, are you just gonna?
I have a PSA, man. Like these video game tinfoil things, they're deep, man. You like everybody has to find their video game and figure it out, because I think it's all connected. It's trippy as fuck, man. Everything's like lining up perfectly.
With what game? Street Fighter? You have more Street Fighter, DD?
there's so much more. Like it's not just Street Fighter. Like there's other games, man. Like we have to like I don't know, man. Play games, guys. Like
I've been playing the new Oblivion.
it's.
It's pretty good. That's what I've been playing.
Have you been finding anything?
Not really. No. But again, I just started it. All right, let's take a look real quick at this post here. House Cat eventually will probably find out where that location is at.
I'm about to.
Okay, I want to take a look here at Bobby's post specifically. It does point out a couple things pertaining to Jumerica as well, it being alive in Canada. Now, one of the main reasons I want to bring this up is because there is a lot of stuff pertaining to these Canadian entities when it comes to Bed Bath & Beyond as well. Bobby says, for those who don't know, the Jumerica trademark is still alive in Canada, and the examiner's first report is due on 6/17/25. Now, there's another date coming up in June as well, okay? And I just want to show this. We have, well, I'll switch to this page here in a moment, but we have GameStop's proxy statement. Okay, the annual meeting of stockholders is to be held on June 12th. Okay, very important date. So we have June 12th for the meeting of stockholders for GameStop. Okay, and also we have this being due on 6/17. Okay, this was originally filed in 8/23 of 21. Go ahead, Travis. What do you have for us?
No, I found out exactly where it was taken. I don't
Travis
want to share it.
What do you mean you don't want to share it? Travis says it's RC's house. How were you able to find this, Travis? You got like a screenshot of this?
Yeah, hang on.
Picture of like his fucking backyard or something?
Sort of. I'm at the park about less than half a mile from his house on Google Street View.
How do you know that photo is his home?
I can't prove that. I just know where he lives, and it's.
Are the buildings
You're
in the
to make
background?
me seem like the creeper. Yeah, here I'll shoot. I hate doing.
Okay,
this.
well, if you say
it feels a little disrespectful.
I was just curious. No, I was just curious. We can continue on with this post here.
Yeah,
so, you think possibly it could be his house? Okay,
I really do.
Yeah. All right. I mean, maybe it's his house. Yeah, it's a very real possibility there. All right, so it goes on to say here. So again, remember those dates. We have the annual stockholder meeting on 6/12, and this report, okay, for the Jumerica trademark, which is alive in Canada, is due on 6/17. Okay. Very important dates. It goes on to say here, GameStop used Bennett Jones as their registered agent, and that law firm is also the lead counsel to the Monitor, Alvarez, and Marsal in the Bed Bath Canada CCAA proceedings. Okay. It says a monitor is an independent third party appointed by a court to oversee the affairs of a company or organization that is facing financial difficulties, undergoing restructuring, or is involved in certain legal proceedings. Looks like UCopy just got here. I think UCopy. Okay. I think we have UCopy here backstage. So I think he wants to share some TA. We'll take a look at some TA here in a little bit. It says here, a monitor is an independent third party appointed by a court to oversee the affairs of a company or organization that is facing financial difficulties, undergoing restructuring, or is involved in certain legal proceedings. It says lead counsel to the monitor is the primary law firm or lawyer responsible for providing legal advice and representation specifically to the court-appointed monitor in a legal proceeding, such as bankruptcy or restructuring case, is what it says here. And some of the things that he had attached with it here. Emails with Bennett Jones regarding blank. This was as early as February 26th. And we also have emails with Bennett Jones regarding blank as well. Discussion with Bennett Jones regarding blank here at the bottom as well. Teleconference with Bennett Jones too. So obviously the biggest question is what was hidden in these redactions. And a lot of people have kind of made some connections here that maybe it could in fact be this like Canadian entity. I think even Jake at one point had hinted at some of these Canadian entities as well. Fellas, do you have any opinions here when it comes to Bobby's post about some of these? Obviously, I think one of the main things is obviously the date being around this like annual stockholder meeting as well. But if any of you guys want to add anything, would love to hear it.
I just want to add that Bobby Cat, Dirt Evader, Leroy Jenkins, they're all killing it on Twitter. If you're not following them, you need to be.
Yeah. They have most certainly been having some really good stuff. They actually just Bobby actually just posted something just before the show. Let me take a look at it here. He says, "I wonder what interested party put in a going concern on the first day of the CCAA proceedings in Canada as well." All right. So again, this is one of the major things that I think could in fact be going down in Canada. It says call with BBI, Lazard, and Ulcer. It says Osler. It says attend court for the hearing for the initial order, internal meetings to discuss several matters, correspondence with JPM, bank account balances, discussions, and emails with Alex regarding CCAA, noticing requirements and timelines, internal discussions, case website, coordinate with Osler and Bennett Jones regarding service list. Updates numerous discussions as well with the bid. We do have some redactions here at the bottom. It says respond to lease inquiries. It's all blanked out. Review and revise aspect of the draft first report, preparation of an employee count analysis to respond to requests from lenders advisors as well. Down right under it, it does say on February 14th, it says review emails, several matters, and respond internal call, lease tracker call with Alex, which is the Alex partners here, a creditor list call with lenders, advisors, Alex and Osler, cash sweep / minimum cash balance, bid, respond to emails pertaining to interest in leases, call with blank, review and revise the draft first report as well. Down here, we have Lazard listed, review numerous emails and respond call with bidder, Lazard, Osler, and Bennett Jones. There's the Bennett Jones again. Review the revised draft first report and provide comments, discussions, emails on bid scenarios as well. All right, let me go to the next page here. All right, so what you guys are looking at here is BBB Canada Ltd and Bed Bath & Beyond Canada LP, okay? This is a detailed summary. It was February 10th to 18th. This is dated as early as 2023. February 14th, we have the draft first report, attend call with bidder, discuss bid with interested party. Down here, what does he have attached here? My apologies. February 14th, he is basically attaching to someone tell the government to stop shooting down my balloons down here with what Ryan Cohen posted. We also have Ryan Cohen listed as an interested party here, 1/19/2023 as well. So I don't know, the more as time goes on, I'm more and more believe that, at one point I was so sure that, okay, yeah, it's probably going to be like GameStop, right? It's probably going to be most likely a merger between the two. But I think that first we're going to see the birth of Teddy, right? It's more likely that that's in fact what we're going to see because again, you can't really make sense of a lot of these like insider buys as of recently, right? If they were going to announce like a major acquisition, major news, things like that, I would like to think that maybe we would still in fact be kind of in some kind of like blackout period, right? But the fact is that they made some major buys. So I don't know, I do think that maybe, I've gone back and forth obviously, but one of the major things is obviously that Ryan Cohen, right, has always been kind of the central point of all of this. So I don't know. I do think that we're probably going to see the birth of Teddy before we actually see later on some kind of like merger with GameStop, things like that too. Any opinions on what you're looking at here? Would love to hear it.
No.
Do you want me to read what you're looking at?
No. I'm sorry. I was doing some digging on my other screen, but I was listening in, and it's some interesting connections.
You weren't listening, Travis.
Sure I was. I was totally.
All right, I'm gonna read this.
That's a weird way to start a conversation. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna read this for you, okay?
Thank you.
It says in Quebec, a hypothetic is a real right on property, movable or immovable, that secures an obligation. It's similar to a mortgage where the property is used as collateral to guarantee repayment of a debt or fulfillment of another obligation. The creditor, the party to whom the obligation is owed, has the right to pursue the party regardless of who owns it. Okay. It says here at the top right, Bed Bath & Beyond Inc. amendment dated August 31st, 2022 to amended and restated credit agreement dated as of August 9th, 2021 among the companies, certain of the company's U.S. and Canadian subsidiaries. party there too. JP Morgan Chase N.A. as administrative agent, and Sixth Street Specialty Lending Inc. as FILO agent, and the lenders party there too. Down here at the bottom, it says Bed Bath's Fifth Amendment credit agreement, excuse me, is dated 4/11/23. On 4/12/23, we get a tweet from Ryan Cohen where he's basically saying, I just got off the phone with what once was a great American brand. Lots of problems, no accountability for high-paid execs. Excuse me. And little interest in my help at no cost. This could get interesting. Which I think obviously the two are correlated here. Canadian security agreements means each of that certain amended and restated Canadian pledge and security agreement dated as of August 31st, 2022 among the Canadian loan parties and the administrative agent. Any deed of hypothec entered into by a Canadian party in favor of the administrative agent. And it says C, as the context requires any other pledge or security agreement, including Bank Act security, after the restatement effective date by any other Canadian loan party, as required by this agreement or any other loan document, as the same may be amended, restated, supplemented, or otherwise modified from time to time. I do think that most likely what we're seeing is probably the birth of Jamaica, right? The fact that like the Canadian trademarks are still alive over there. And then you have all this like BBB Canada stuff going on at the same time. I think it is safe to say that maybe, in fact, Jamaica, Teddy, whatever you want to call it, could in fact be what we could be seeing kind of take place here. And again, it's anyone's guess what actually is going on behind the scenes, but I do like to think that is in fact what's happening here. Any opinions on it, Travis, if you have any? If not, also House Cat, let's hear it. We'll let you copy in for a little bit, and then we'll take a look at a couple of these Jake 2B posts. A couple things from Available Werewolf. He did, in fact, total up all the net effects of the 20 new adversary cases, 3992 through 4011. So we do need to take a look at those dockets too. So anything you'd like to add?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm just a big tinfoil guy, and I've been seeing a lot of tinfoil about Montreal. So I had to look up 4/12, 2023 in Montreal, and there was a Toy Con festival. Like they had a bunch of festivals during that week. So that might be something to look at.
Yeah, it is interesting. Sure. You've been seeing a lot of people back and forth about this Q Montreal guy, right? I mean, I don't know. I think that maybe, in fact, the guy, it's not that crazy to think that the guy could, in fact, be connected. And some people out there will think, no, it's some bullshit LARP account, things like that. I think that there's a lot of white hats, man, kind of sprinkled out throughout this community who've kind of like interacted with us from time to time. And to be honest with you, I have personally seen some things that have stood out to me when it comes to that account. People, again, don't have to follow it. They don't have to believe what he says. But I don't know. I do think something is real weird about that Montreal account. So
it's not the Montreal account that's getting me. I'm getting like tinfoil from like a whole bunch of stuff, man. Like I'm talking about, like, I feel like it's all just slapping me in the face while I'm online. Gotcha. It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I'm schizophrenic. But there's so much that I'm uncovering right now. Like for no, like, I don't know where it's coming from though.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think that maybe, in fact, I think that there's been a lot of clues kind of tossed around from time to time. Travis, did you want to add anything, or can I go ahead and take a look at this post from Jake 2B regarding some of these things? I mean, we can take a look at the cases, some of the claims if you want, real quick, and then we can take a look at the Jake 2B post. The Jake 2B post is kind of long. You copy. But if you want to wait that long, I mean, that's fine too.
I'll just chime in real quick while he responds backstage and just say that the tweet from Ryan Cohen about getting off the phone with was once a great American brand. I have always speculated it was Bed Bath & Beyond, and of course it's speculation. We can't confirm it. It could have been somebody else, but knowing that he sold his investment, made another offer, is in the dockets, maybe offered a services like, I still have an opportunity to come in here and help y'all, and they're like, back off. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see how this thing plays out. It's interesting.
And what's interesting too is that ABC had actually posted this too, which I just wanted to share real quick too for like a reminder out there. And what ABC says is private transaction detailed in black and white. RC Ventures sold an 11.82% stake in the company to an undisclosed buyer on August 18th of 2022. Excuse me. And it does say it right there, right? I mean, it says that it was in fact to an undisclosed buyer on August 18th of 2022. And some people believe that maybe, just maybe, okay, that he could have in fact sold his position potentially to Carl Icahn, right? I do like to think that it's a possibility, right? Because this was a couple months before they in fact were seen taking a picture together, and still to this day nobody really knows why these two were pictured together. And also there was some rumor at the time too that Ryan Cohen had brought a very expensive, I can't remember what the brand of wine was, but he had brought him like a gift. And you have to wonder, like, why would Ryan Cohen be coming to Carl Icahn's house bearing these gifts, right? This like expensive type of wine, like what was actually going on, obviously at the time of this meeting. And again, this was a couple months right before that. So, and then he posts the picture with him. So it's very likely that you could in fact see some kind of correlation here. Maybe, just maybe, Carl Icahn is in fact the undisclosed buyer, because as soon as we go to OTC, his stock absolutely tanks, right? Which it's never really been able to recover ever since then. So I do think that it's more than just a photo, right? I mean, this was some kind of business meeting that neither of them have ever really expanded upon, still to this day.
I want to say something for fun and pretending that this will get people going, but I know somebody's listening into this show because they were texting me, and I just want to ask him, why didn't Uncle Carl let us in to come visit?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe because we're weird. Maybe because we're fucking weird. Yeah. But we did go visit his office when we were down there in Florida, right? And what did we see? We saw the butterfly statues out front of his office, right? And none of that even clicked for us at the time either, because it was before even Butterfly was announced. Like this change, I think it was prior to us being changed to Butterfly, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was actually. So I don't know. It is very interesting, like looking back on all this stuff, like the fact that they call it DK Butterfly, the fact that there's a lot of the same people involved in this entire bankruptcy at some point have done business with Carl Icahn. I don't know. I mean, sure, you can make the argument of like, you have these giant firms and things like that who typically work with these people, but normally I would agree, but not when you have specific people that are listed within this bankruptcy that he's also done with other bankruptcies like Tropicana Casino and things like that. So I don't know. That is personally what I kind of think could be happening here. I think that he could have in fact sold this to an undisclosed buyer, which would be Carl Icahn. Some people have speculated that it could have been Roaring Kitty who purchased this as well. I don't know. Some people have thrown those kinds of ideas out there too. Sure, maybe it's a possibility, right? I mean, I still, can't really make sense of a lot of this stuff. Obviously him kind of giving ode to the show, things like that. It still puzzles me to this day. So, and again, Backstage RC, knew his tinfoil. So it is all very interesting. Someone in the chat said, have we looked at PCRs? No, we're going to take a look at them now, and we'll check in with you copy soon. Let's take a look at some PCRs. Wait. So a lot of people, yeah, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was just going to say, we're going to take a look at these PCRs thing here, if you guys want to take a look at these. Give me 1 second here.
What PCRs are you talking about?
This is something that is filed for a company that shows that they're still in bankruptcy, is from what I understand from talking with Leroy a little bit.
Yeah, they were typically filed around the 21st to 23rd of each month following the end of a quarter. We haven't gotten them yet.
Correct. And why would we? Yeah.
I thought you said they were released. I'm like, how come? No.
I'm saying we have not got these PCRs, and that's really been the big question right now: is why we haven't seen these PCRs filed. And from what I can understand, yes, they are supposed to be filed every quarter, like you say. And if they're not filed, it means that the company's no longer in Chapter 11. Now, let's take a look at what this post says. This is from Jen here regarding some of this PCR stuff, and I'd love to hear your opinion of it too. So it says here, if a company is no longer in Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the month they need to file the previous quarter's PCRs, would they not have to file if they are no longer in Chapter 11? case closed by the end of April. It says here, if a company's Chapter 11 bankruptcy case is closed by the end of April, it generally would not require to file a periodic compliance report, which is a PCR. Okay. It says here for the previous quarter, as the obligation to file PCRs is tied to the ongoing administration of the bankruptcy case, here's a breakdown. PCRs in Chapter 11, PCRs often referred to as monthly operating reports, MORs, or similar periodic reports are required by the U.S. Bankruptcy Court to monitor the debtor's financial and operational status during the Chapter 11 case. These reports are typically mandated under the United States Trustee Program, guidelines, or local bankruptcy court rules and must be filed when the case is active. Case closure and filing obligations. Once a Chapter 11 case is closed, whether through confirmation of a reorganization plan, dismissal, or conversion, the debtor is no longer under the court supervision for the bankruptcy purposes. And one thing I add too, the lack of these PCRs is also very interesting too, because we did see those creditors disappear off of I'm blanking on the website. What's the website where we gather all those?
Kroll?
Yes. No. Kroll. Pacer. All the creditors were missing from Pacer. I think it was Leroy who took it upon himself to actually reach out to the plan man. Plan man says, I have no idea why they're not showing up there. I think he was like playing around with the words, things like that. I mean, obviously the plan man has to know why they would not be showing up on Pacer of all places, but
he knows.
If you look at the timeline, like the fact that the board is settled, Ryan Cohen makes a buy, creditors vanish from Pacer, and now all of a sudden PCRs are missing. I mean, are we even in Chapter 11 anymore? I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, that's really like the biggest question here, because obviously even with Hertz was able to reemerge, and still they had these claims that they're still dealing with claims even years later with Hertz, right? So just because we have these claims still coming in, things like that, is not going to hold us up. I do think that if you have an acquirer out there, they would want to wait long enough to have some kind of settlements come through that would obviously go towards the debt, creditors, things like that kind of minimizes their spending on kind of acquiring whatever it is we have here, right? The shell, maybe there's some IPs left. Some people have speculated that the IPs are still shared, which means obviously, whoever comes in would also, have a hand in some of these. So there's a lot of questions, right, in the air of what exactly is going on. But I think that whoever is in fact acquiring this has been taking their time, because we got the, I believe it was the maritime settlement, right?
Yep.
Which is still for an undisclosed amount. And we know that the board was being sued for $2.5 billion, yes, with a B, okay? And we still don't know how much was clawed back there. There is only a couple billion standing in front of us from us getting essentially money out of this waterfall here. And we don't even know what those disclosed amounts are. We don't even know as well when it comes to HBC. A lot of the stuff is sealed, things like that. We don't know how much they could have pulled out of HBC as well. Let's say HBC was nefarious in this. They pay, a certain amount towards the estate and they seal the record. Maybe that's most likely what happened, right? ABC has always taken the stance of, they're a white hat and, this is, 3D chess and things like that. And, ABC's entitled his opinion out there. He could be right about HBC. But we have not seen what regarding HBC, whether there was, any settlements regarding them, any type of, obviously there was a lot of fraud going on when it came to HBC and what they kind of were doing. Some people think they were passing the shares off to a third party. Nobody really knows. A lot of this stuff is redacted. So there's a lot of questions in the air. But I do think that an acquirer out there is in fact kind of waiting so that there can be a little bit less debt, right? I mean, why would you buy the company like $2 billion? I think it's a little over $2 billion, or is it under $2 billion now in terms of the debt? Do you remember the running total? It was like 1.8, right?
1.7,
1.7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could either come in, buy it for 1.8, 1.7, or they can let these settlements kind of flow in a little bit and then kind of make their move on it. And I think that's maybe what we're kind of seeing here. But the fact that we have lacking PCRs, I think, is very interesting too. So, all right, let me go ahead and continue here unless you guys have anything you want to add. If not,
I want to touch on it, but if you want to finish this, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Let me go ahead and continue this here. So It says here, once a Chapter 11 case is closed, whether through confirmation of reorganization plan, dismissal, or conversion, the debtor is no longer under the court's supervision for bankruptcy purposes, and the requirement to file the PCRs typically ceases. If the case is closed by the end of April, the company would not be obligated to file a PCR for the prior quarter, which is January through March, as the reporting requirement ends with the case closure as well. It says there are exemptions and caveats. It says court or plan specific requirements if the confirmed reorganization plan or court order order imposes ongoing reporting obligations post confirmation until certain payments are made. The company might still need to file reports, review the plan, or final court orders to confirm timing of closure. If the case was still active during any part of the reporting period, January through March, the Court of Trustee might request a final report covering that period, even if the case closed before the filing deadline. Some jurisdictions require a final MOR or PCR to close out the case, which I don't think we've seen yet. Trustee or creditor requests, it says in rare cases, the U.S. trustee or creditors could request financial information post-closure if these are unresolved issues, but this wouldn't typically take the form of a standard PCR. We have practical steps listed here. Check court orders, review the case docket and the order closing the case and the reorganization plan, if applicable, to confirm whether any post-closure reporting is required. Consult a bankruptcy counsel. It says here the company's bankruptcy attorney can clarify local court practices or specific case requirements as well. It says verify with the U.S. trustee. If there's uncertainty, contacting the U.S. trustee's office assigned on the case can confirm whether a final report is needed. General rule in most cases, once the Chapter 11 case is closed, the debtor is released from the obligation to file PCRs unless explicitly stated otherwise in the plan or court orders. If the case is closed by April 30th, 2025, and no such requirement exists, the company would not need to file a PCR for the prior quarter. It's very interesting. It also says, since bankruptcy proceedings can be jurisdiction specified, I recommend confirming with the company's legal counsel or the bankruptcy court clerk to ensure compliance with any local rules or case specific orders. If yada yada. Blah, blah, blah. So that's about it. What would you like to add regarding PCRs? I mean, do you think that maybe they're just delayed? Do you think that we could, in fact, see them towards the end of this month? It is questionable why we haven't seen these PCRs, but we'd love for you to expand a little bit.
We will see them before the end of the month.
Okay. Someone was saying that the deadline had already passed. So
no, not at all. They have until I believe the last day of the month to file them, but you have court hearings scheduled for the upcoming month. You have now a objection to what the plan man just did from the person who had the latest filing. We're not out of Chapter 11 reorganization yet, so the PCRs will come by the end of the month.
Gotcha. Okay.
I look forward to seeing them and going through them with a fine-tooth comb and looking at every detail and seeing what's going on, and maybe we'll get some information on how much was clawed back or settled with the maritime lawsuit or the board. I don't know if we'll see that, but I'm hoping to. I forget the timeline. Things are blurred. Work's been busy. Kids are keeping me crazy, so I don't know the timeline on what's going on when and if it was done by the end of the last quarter. But I find the thing that I find the most odd is bankruptcies are supposed to be extremely transparent. And there's a lot of information we don't know. And that is the question of why. Why can't you tell us what it was settled for? Now, there's been some arguments about, well, maybe some other creditors could come in and be like, well, hey, then we should get more. And if that's the case, go ahead, keep it secret, Goldberg. I don't care. I mean, at the end of the day, this will all play out the way it's been designed to play out. There are a couple of different strategies that could come into play. Somebody, with these settlements being done, as you mentioned, decreasing some of the liabilities, leaving only X amount of debt, they could come in from an external party with a new plan of reorganization and an offer, and everything could change as long as it's better than the current plan. I don't know how long they have to do that, but and that timeline could have even passed, but there are opportunities here, and we'll have to see how this plays out. I can't wait to look back and go, in hindsight was 2020, and see that things were staring at us right in the face and we missed it.
Well, the biggest question is where 6th Street kind of is playing a role in all of this, right? I mean, where does 6th Street benefit out of this entire? To me, it seems like 6th Street got the worst deal out of anybody. So how the hell is 6th Street going to benefit at the end of this thing?
Why the hell are things still being redacted and they're considered confidential, and the only way you can release them is if 6th Street gives you permission? That is the question we should be asking.
The only thing I could think of is one of the main reasons being redacted is that at some point it's going to affect something that I don't know, maybe like a stock that's publicly traded, or maybe like an IPO, right? Or whatever it may be. I don't know. Yeah, maybe even like 6th Street stock. Yeah, I mean that's a very real possibility too. But to me, like every time you kind of analyze all of this stuff, you wonder, right? It's like, well, what the fuck does 6th Street get out of it? Because every single other person's been paid out things like that, and 6th Street seems to be getting the short end of the stick, but maybe not, right? And especially the timing of Ryan Cohen selling and then 6th Street coming in not even a few days later with like double the amount of money that he sold for. So that's always been questionable too.
I can tell you exactly what 6th Street gets out of it. Management fees. So they have a fund, regardless of how many investors, or if it's an individual investors, that goes through TSLX, and they set up a certain fund that funded this bankruptcy, or funded this, not bankruptcy, funded this investment into Bed Bath & Beyond. If it's 50 people in a fund, or 50 individuals, or 50 retirement funds that are all part of this, and they all throw money at it, so they raise money, they develop a fund, and they go, okay, we're going to take this money, we're going to go do an investment here.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they lose money, they still get management fees. If they make money, they get more management fees. But they're diversifying in probably, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 investments a year, maybe more. I'm trying to think of how many I did just on my fund. I mean, we had 30 to 40. Mine was the newest fund, so it was the most active. There were at least 4 other funds at the time. A lot of those were kind of winding down, but some of those still had dozens. I mean, you're talking over hundreds, maybe 100 different types of investments at one time. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to go into 100 a year. Some of those were years old. But I mean, I remember one time at least doing 30 different investments in a year. So I don't know. What's 6th Street getting out of it? Management fees.
It was a lot of money though. It was like $300 million. So I don't know.
It's one of the biggest I've seen. I actually transferred for The Wire to State Street for the iHeartRadio.
How much was that one for?
$125 million.
Wow.
Or was it $225 million? It was big, but
that's crazy.
But the Bed Bath & Beyond investment was the biggest I've heard of.
Yeah.
Since I left 6th Street. And I left in 2017. I was there as a contractor for a little bit, stayed on for maybe a year after. Whatever. It was interesting that now I have that type of knowledge on how they work, and the whole going public TSLX thing, all that was way after I left. The Tao Talents thing, I think that was right around the time of my departure. I don't know much about it, but still, I kind of have a little bit of knowledge of the inner workings of the company. And I guarantee you, they're working on how do we get our management fees. They're working on their 12 to 14% return year over year for their clients, so that they can entice more clients. Hey, invest more money with us. We're returning 14%. S&P 500 is only returning 7%. Come invest with us. And I find it most interesting that I reached out to Alan Waxman on LinkedIn, reconnected with him because I did get a chance to meet him once or twice in person. And I asked him to come on the show, and he said, not at this time. He didn't say no. He said, not at this time.
That's interesting because the same guys at T0 have given me the runaround too for a while too. And now you see, like, what's interesting is at one point we were trying to get them on. They'd keep giving us the runaround. And now all of a sudden T0, they have these like tokenized stocks. Like you have OSTK, you have obviously the baby tokenized share coming. This all through T0. So I don't know. I think that I think we've been so fucking right for so long, but the fact is that it just hasn't caught up yet. I mean, that's the only logical thing, right? Because every single goddamn thing that we've experienced, fellas, up until this point if nothing happened, it would absolutely make zero fucking sense, man. Right? The people have come on the show, the interactions we've had, the tinfoil, roaring kitty, all this shit. I mean, none of it. I mean, you'd have to put me in a fucking psych ward, man, at the end of it if absolutely nothing happened here. Right? Because so it's an unlikely scenario, right? It's just why has a lot of these things not cut up? Maybe it's the bankruptcy. Maybe it's the speed of this bankruptcy. Maybe it's the Braya case. I mean, they keep throwing fucking wrenches in this Braya, slowing this motherfucker down for years. I don't know. You know, it's all very interesting if you ask me, but I wouldn't know what to really think if nothing comes out at the end of this, right? Because we're so right. It's just, where is it? Where is it actually going to come from at the end of the day? How is Sixth Street going to benefit? Ryan Cohen, you know, what is his plans here? You know, why did he file these Teddy trademarks before selling his position? Things like that. There's a lot of questions out there with not a lot of answers, right? And especially when you, like you said earlier, the redactions, the sealing. I mean, you never really truly get the story of what's going on here. So
Yeah, and I would agree with most of that except one part. You said the people that we've had on here, and I'd say that's not the piece we need to be looking at. It's the people that we had that said they would come on, and then when we told them, yeah, we're mostly talking about Bed Bath & Beyond and GameStop, and as soon as they heard Bed Bath & Beyond, they said, I can't come on. We had somebody with the SEC. We had West Christian, possibly Alan Waxman saying not at this time.
Mhm.
I don't know how much he knew about what we did. We didn't get into that part of it, but that's the interesting part to me. Why couldn't you all of a sudden come on after you agreed to come on when you found out what we talked about?
Yeah, it's a good point. No, again, you know, all excellent points here. All right, we need to bring UCopy in here. UCopy, are you ready backstage there? Okay, UCopy's backstage. Well, as soon as we end with UCopy, we're going to take these. We're going to take a look at these claims here that you see on the screen. To jack everyone's tits before we get there, it says the waterfall is getting bigger while the participants in the pool get smaller. A lot more money coming our ways, fellas. All right, let's go and welcome UCopy here to the PP Show. You know him, man, as a regular, man. His TA's been blowing up across the web, man. Chat, please give a warm welcome to none other than UCopy. UCopy, what's going on, my man?
Hey, how are you doing, man?
Good.
Is my mic okay?
You sound excellent, man. Yeah,
All right,
what's going on?
Sounds good. All right, nothing much. Just waiting for Bad Bath Beyond to reemerge. Yeah, I've been getting also I've been getting some emails from other people in the community sending me some information, and it just looks like we might see a news very soon. I don't know. I don't know. Some people say like, oh, we might take another 6 months, or I don't know, like
Oh,
June or
Jesus.
September.
God,
But
no,
here's
please,
the
God,
thing.
no.
I think can I quickly share my before I jump into like quick TA? Can I quickly share this thing?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's take a look. What do you want to
Okay.
share with
So
us here, UCopy?
it's been a while. How do I share? Okay. So I think I got the button here.
Yeah.
So if you could approve the screen.
All right, let's see what's going on here.
This is like a post I just made, and somebody shared this thing with me, and I think there's also some of the people in the community, and
Let me read through it, UCopy, for
Yeah,
everybody.
I can just quickly go through. So
Okay.
so
You wanna
basically
read
this guy. No, I can't read it.
Okay,
So basically, NoPi said like, hey, if you add 741 days for American Airlines, and they got the announcement on 737th day. So and we know that Teddy Holdings in Gematria is 741, and then if you add 741 from Chapter 11 bankruptcy from April 23rd, 2023,
what do we get to?
May fucking 3rd, I think.
May 3rd. Man,
And then,
that'd be next week, man. What the fuck?
and then another thing is the sovereign wealth fund due May 4th. So I think was it some Montreal guy? He talks about kind of hinting the sovereign wealth fund. I think I don't know if that's true, but yeah. So that kind of lines up with it. it just like there's some hints about that. So possibly May. I've talked to some one of the a guy from a BBY community. By the way, he's my my subscriber, but he shares some of the information based on whatever this guy's kind of saw in the recent filings. We saw new BBBY, as you guys seen.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that's really just common thing.
Mhm.
And then we've seen this PR stuff. And so just basically like seeing all things, the Hudson Bay stuff. It looks like so Hudson Bay funding ends right a month before Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So what this guy is saying is, this is so we are kind of seeing like Hudson Bay might be kind of like nefarious guy, or not, I don't know, but what he's saying basically is termination of funding agreement with Hudson Bay. Basically, this is not a simple withdrawal of investment, but this is a change of the structure. So we still don't know what they are, but I think there's a reason why they're involved. And also we've seen that in the docket with B Rally, right? So so something definitely going on. And then
also, just to point out real quick, Hanky in the chat. Also, Hanky with the 5 PP Show gift of memberships. Appreciate your support. Again, if you got a membership from Hank, be sure to give a thanks in the chat, fellas. Hanky down here says Hindenburg disaster was 5.6.
That's interesting.
That is very interesting as well. Very good.
So yeah, that's a good point. So basically, to summarize the whole thing, he thinks that the reconstruction plan was already initiated in April 2023. All the carve out possibly done before even going to Chapter 11, and we noticed that from I think some of the what do you call that, the pitch book, right? There was like a buyout or something like that, right?
Yes.
So it seems like everything was done even before heading into Chapter 11, and then it makes sense as we get the PCR data, all that stuff. And then due to looking at all those data, we shouldn't get delayed, because I don't know if this is true. I talked to the guy, what's his name, the Fox guy, what's his name?
Fox and Flask.
Yes, I talked to the guy a few for last past few days, and then he was kind of Chapter 11 guy or something, I don't know, but yeah, I talked to him. I talked to some of the other OG community, BBY people, and basically the NOL stuff, Salvatore also mentioned that like NOL stuff, it can be kind of, they can, drag it as much as like maybe for 20 years, but I don't think that's true. I don't know. But typically, based on what I know, my research, they got 2 years. So they freeze the 2 years to keep to preserve NOL. But also, if they continue to delay this thing, they might lose certain points for NOL, right? So they need to, in order to preserve the NOL, they might want to announce public disclosure within that 2 years, 2 years period, right? Close to 2 years, and then based on what we saw from like heading into Chapter 11 in April, all that stuff. But they might already carved out, even before this. When you look at all this stuff, I think it's possible we could see announcement in May.
I mean, May's likely, right? I mean, we could in fact see something go down in May. I mean, there's obviously been a lot. There's obviously been a lot of focus on, look, when Roaring Kitty returned, it was in fact in May. It was May 12th, right? So I don't know. There's a little bit of tinfoil floating around, things like that. Some people are thinking that there's going to be a major fucking cycle coming as well. I don't know. It's honestly anyone's guess, right, with what's going to go down. But I don't know. I mean, we did see the cycle last year kind of cycle out in May, right? And we started to see this insane kind of buying pressure in April. I mean, what we're seeing right now, chart-wise, in April, I feel like is what we saw in April of last year. You copy or no? I mean, do you have the charts to kind of compare? So I feel like we had these kinds of spikes up where we were kind of getting closer to May and we started to have these spikes. I mean, maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I'm just curious if this identical cycle is playing out right now.
So
And
I
yeah, go
want
ahead.
to talk about Bitcoin for 1 second because it's been rallying, right?
Okay, and I also want to hear your opinion on this new ETF, this
Oh,
GMEU as well. What the fuck's
yeah,
going
yeah.
on here too?
You
So
know what?
there's a lot
I saw
to
Jake
catch up on.
post, and then I'm like, oh man, this guy's wanna steal my positions. He started putting TA, man. Jesus.
I
But
know he's
but
gonna take your
I do
job,
agree
you
with
copy.
his post. I do agree with his post. I think they want to leverage themselves to even short even more, right? They want to suppress it. And then when you look at the J2V post, um, whenever they announce they release the 2x ETF, like there's always the stock price always tank before rally. And I do see that from GME. I did mention that on my post that we're gonna see a pullback. We haven't seen a pullback yet, but we're gonna see, I think, next week or within that, between the May period. Because May is gonna be a very interesting week because I want to start with the Bitcoin for 1 second.
Yeah,
Because
the
when you look at
Bitcoin
Bitcoin,
has been moving up
I've been
since
yes.
April 6th is when it
This
made its major move.
So when you look at this is a weekly, by the way. So I did mention that PP. I warned you in January. Hey, this thing's gonna crash, and it did crash, right? I'm not
It was like maybe temporary, but yeah,
okay.
I mean, I thought you were meaning like big fucking crash, you know.
I
But
thought it's gonna be a big one, but yeah, I think there's. I
it
mean,
was a
it's very
decent.
strong. Actually, it's
I
very
mean,
strong. I mean,
all altcoins got wiped out. That's for Ethereum
yeah,
down like
Bitcoin down 27%. That's
yeah,
quite a lot.
that's a pretty
Yeah,
big drop. Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie, it's a pretty big
yeah.
drop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, but it's been held steady, very strong. But here's the thing: when you look at weekly, the reason I found that Bitcoin could drop was because it was already doing a bearish divergence, which means that the all-time high in RSI in weekly was here, but this thing continued to goes down in RSI, and the
Mhm.
stock price tank after that, right? Even though RSI tank and go up, the price is all-time higher, but still after that it tanks after that, right? And when you look at this pattern, same thing. All-time high happened last year March, pullback in RSI, go up. The price in terms of the price, it hit all-time high, but RSI is still lower than the 2024 March. This is the bearish divergence that's exactly showing up here in 2021, and that's what I thought. Okay, this is gonna crash, and then it did kind of have that kind of 27% whatever pullback, whatever crash, whatever you want to call it. But this thing is not end, right? So when you look at this, now when the RSI went up a little bit, but as you can see here, that's kind of I think where we at. Okay, so this is kind of where we're at, which is around 2022 April area, and there's a boom crash,
Mhm.
right? So we could see this thing play out this month. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's kind of where we are. So this thing will have a pullback up to until August or something like that, or September.
How much money was GME investing into Bitcoin? It was what was the deal for? Like 1.4 billion, right? 1.5.
Did they actually announce it?
Well, that's the thing is what I was going to ask Travis is that if they had made this purchase like kind of recently, what would be the time frame that they would need to announce that they've spent that Bitcoin, Travis, or would they be obligated to have to say that?
If it's a material transaction, you have to release it in 2 days.
Okay, so buying Bitcoin, right, for on their balance sheet, they would from the time that when they bought it, they would have to announce it within 2 days. Is that what you're saying?
If it's a material amount, if they go out and spend, let's say they have what, $4 billion, $6 billion cash, whatever.
Well, let's
If
say the 1.5 that they said that may be allocated to Bitcoin. Let's work with that number.
if you go and spend, you're gonna make me calculate materiality. Okay,
I'm just
call
curious,
it
you know, like
2% of 6 billion. What's 2% of 6 billion? Somebody, anybody? I can't do math right now. 120 million.
mhm.
Anything under that, they don't have to disclose.
Interesting. Okay. Gotcha. And they wouldn't be able to do it in tranches to where they wouldn't be able to disclose that, or would they?
Even if they did it in tranches and segments, as soon as they cross materiality threshold,
Uh-huh.
it needs to be disclosed that
Gotcha.
we have made a material purchase or purchases that became a material amount in Bitcoin.
Okay, I'm just curious because, obviously seeing the move up from with Bitcoin, I assume maybe it's GameStop kind of allocating that 1.5 billion cash into it, probably other companies too as well, but yeah, I mean maybe they haven't spent that money yet then. Maybe it's still
Yeah.
on the balance sheet.
But anyway, yeah, just to finish my thought, I think something's gonna happen. Like something's gonna happen, like May, whatever, June, whatever. Something's gonna
Sure.
happen,
Yeah,
and I think
eventually.
that could be a BBBY,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And the hedge fucks, like basically, like they're trying to like, oh, we gotta sell fucking assets, liquidate. I think this is right before pump and dump, right? Like you see, like 2022, whatever, HKD, like jump like couple thousand%,
Mhm.
and then they just fucking like pump and dump, like they just went down minus 90%, 99, whatever. I think I'm seeing a similar pattern here. So I don't know. I might be wrong, but I don't think we're gonna heading into fucking like 200, 400K in like bull market. I don't think so. Something's gonna happen. Like I think this year is the some sort of what do you call that, like cleanup operation, right? Under the Trump administration, right? So he's gonna he start talking about like, oh, naked short selling in TJT.
Mhm.
Other countries start mentioning that they want to ban short selling, whatever. I think some like he need to clean this up, right? So we got the director of the Cash Patel guy, right? So he's doing his own thing. Brian Cohen is doing his own thing as an active investor. Trump is doing his own thing as a politician. Like, yeah, and also tariff stuff. This is all for me. Is just kind of I don't know. Like it's like a financial weapon to me, right? Like I mean, it hurt as a business person, right? Like in Canada here, PP,
Mhm.
it hits like aluminum and then the steels, right? They lost like 30% already, like sales, because of this
Oh, with
tariff.
the tariffs?
Yeah, like they already lost like billion already. But
Jesus
it is
Christ.
it hurts, of course, as a business wise. The industry is fucked here.
Yeah.
But it is but I think when I look at a bigger picture,
Mhm.
not just a specific sector or industry, when you look at a bigger picture as a financial world, I think he's really just like clean up, the short sellers, naked short sellers, all this kind of stuff. Because this thing has to be wiped out. I'm not wiped out, but it has to be clean first. So I think so. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And when Bed Bath Beyond returns, I think we could see how manipulated the stock was, and then the market, right? If liquidation happens, like left and right from Bitcoin and all this stuff, oh yeah, we know. Like margin call, like Bill Huang happened, right? Like Bill Huang, like he got margin call like 2021 March or something, and then the Viacom stock just like dropped like minus 6%, like within like a week or so, or like 2-3 days or something.
Yeah, and I think I heard something about like these obligations with Credit Suisse or something regarding
Yeah.
those swaps. Like they said that they're not going to be the ones that deal with that. So
Oh,
again, who's going to pay?
who's
You
gonna
know,
pay?
yeah, that's really the biggest question right now too.
Right?
So I don't know. Everyone's trying to get out of these like toxic swaps because they know it's going to blow up the market. And the moment it happens, that's when you're going to see exactly what you saw in 2021. GameStop GameStop was obviously one of the strongest runs that we saw, right? It wasn't a squeeze. It was kind of like obviously like a sneeze, we went from nearly $5 a share to 500. Okay. Insane price action. But not only was it GameStop making those moves, you saw those moves all across the market in 2021. Beyond, right, had squeezed from $3-4 to 120. Okay. It was happening left and right. And all the while, crypto was melting up at the same time, too. So if we are, in fact, going to see this type of recoil or whatever it may be regarding GameStop, you're going to see it market wide. I don't think it's just going to be GameStop alone that's just going to astronomical prices. You're going to be seeing it across the market, from the shittiest of shit stocks at the very bottom, the penniest of penny, even squeezed in 2021 too. So it's going to be a market wide type of reaction here. Every single stock, not only in the basket's going to blow up, but your normal just mom and pop stock out there is going to do probably like a 2,000% on some kind of melt up too. So it will be a sight to see, most certainly. I think, especially with Paul Atkins back in the SEC now. He's essentially replaced Gary Gensler, which I think is very important. And we need to deal with these dark pools, because way back in the day, for the people who've watched this show as early as 2023, as early as February of 2023, when we used to have a guy named Hal Roach on, Roach, one of the again, calling the show whatever you want, but Roach, one of the most important things he pointed out was that when Gary Gensler came onto the scene at the SEC, these dark pools got jacked up to 80, 90% trading in these dark pools when back then they were a lot lower than that. So I do like to think that Paul Atkins probably is a little bit connected here. I think there's a reason why he's been brought back in to the SEC to really allow true trading across the marketplace globally. So I think it will be very exciting if you want my opinion, especially with Paul Atkins. I think that the guy has something up his sleeve. And just recently too, within that same kind of time period or within that same kind of timeline, I think it was like a 2-week window when they were kind of announcing that Paul Atkins, is now appointed, over at the SEC. We did in fact see Devin Nunes actually come out and again address these short sellers when it comes to DJT as well. So I do like to think that most certainly it's all connected, right? From everyone that we've kind of seen playing a major role here. So sorry, go ahead, you copy.
No, I agree with you. So I think, in terms of like the Beyond itself, we have there's gonna be an earning Monday. Based on what I'm tracking, like I said, like Bitcoin will pull back. I don't know what's gonna happen. Like something's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen to trigger the market and have a pullback. A Beyond will have a pullback from each earning, but when this thing start to hit, I don't know how much this thing will go down, but this thing is going to be like, oh yeah, this is really cheap. And then as you've seen this thing before, Marcus Lemonis, he's purchasing stocks like crazy. Like I've seen this one, the Insider Viz. If you go type Beyond here, you could check the insider buying here.
How much has he been buying?
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you here. So I want to show you the bigger picture. When you look at the bigger picture here, this is 2020. All this green is the insider buying, right? All these greens are insider buying, and after that, what happened? There's a bull run. After the thing, what happened? There's a bull run. Look at this, all this green buying here. There's a Marcus. Okay, let me show you here.
Yeah, can you zoom in on that? There's a fuckload of buying going on
This
down
is Marcus
here now.
2024, October 28th.
Hold on.
Another one, 2024, March 13th. So this year, just last month, he purchased another 100K.
Hold on. What was the one? What was the giant one before that? You just had it right there. No, go back.
Go back.
Okay. Yeah, you see that giant green bubble right there in the middle. Yeah, that was him, right? That's $500,000 buy on October of 2024.
Marcus Lemonis, yes. October 28th last year.
Yeah, he bought it. He was buying at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going down. Let me see the most recent ones you copy.
This is the most recent one.
He just bought for $100K on the 13th of March.
Yes.
Last month.
Yes.
What stock is this? This is Beyond.
It's Beyond. So I'm just telling you, like NFA, right? But when there's a huge insider buying happen, after that there's a bull run.
Yeah.
Right. And when I look at this Beyond chart, it has a very specific a picture here where you see there's like a clear like a M shape or something, like I don't know, like go up and down 3 times and hit the bottom and then start to kick off the bull run. It's making a same pattern here, but it's much more stretched out because we're now in the low liquidity environment, right? So it's not as same as 2019 or 2020. It's not that fast. So the market is very slow. They're taking time. The market makers taking time. So the accumulation phase, I think here, which is the blue box that I just kind of have it. Yeah, blue box you see. That's the accumulation phase before kicking up the bull run. That's what Marcus is buying. Like whenever he see a stock price drop, purchase. And I think there's going to be one more drop here. I don't know what's going to happen in earning, but something's going to happen in earning. Huge drop.
Well, when is their earnings announced? It's
Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah, Monday.
And we're not going to see that console sale for this quarter, right? The quarter's already been cut off, right, Travis? When's the cutoff? For the quarter that we're about to see for GameStop, we're not going to see any of that Nintendo Switch stuff on that.
No, because that's going to be Q2.
Q2,
The quarter will actually end at the end of this month.
Okay, gotcha. Real quick, we have good vibes out in the chat with the vibe. Appreciate the love, good vibes. Greg signaled Cinco de Mayo and said he's not going to pay for it again. That's because RC already owns it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of tin revolving around May right now. I mean,
Okay.
I cannot see. I mean, logically, looking at everything, we've uncovered every fucking rock there is regarding this bankruptcy and many, many tinfoil in between. I cannot see anything else that where we could get delayed for another set of time, right? I mean, this is pretty much the very end here.
This is the end.
Maybe it's Brya. I really don't know. You know, even Jake, when he used to come on the show, kind of said too, he kind of felt like it was the Brya case that was holding up stuff. But I just don't know. I can't help but think it's because they want to call back these major settlements first before they want to make a move, which would make sense, right? I mean, why would an acquirer come in before these settlements have kind of, you know, dealt with some of the debt or paid back some of these creditors, things like that? So there's obviously a lot of questions here with what's going on.
There's a couple people I talked to, and then they're OG members, and then they think, I don't want to drop their names, but they think it's Car Icon or Bread Icon instead of RC, and
that's okay.
Yeah. So
maybe.
So we haven't really heard anything about you know, from Bread Icon or Car Icon these days. Very silent, you know. So and they said Sixth Street is still in control. So I don't know if that's true, Travis. I don't, you know, if you know anything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I'm muted. Sorry. Yes, Sixth Street is still in control of
Okay.
everything.
Okay, so that's what one of the guys says. So okay, so it sounds like it's not going to be RC. Maybe it's Call Icon and Brett, and they announced it, and they might just do you know, call like a spin-off. I'm sorry, to sell the baby assets to Ryan Cohen later on, when the bull cycle kicks in for GME. So let's say GME, runs when GME start to run here. Maybe, you know, they announce acquisitions and then drop, go up, acquisition, drop, you know, go up, acquisition, drop. Like they maybe do something like that. You know? So
I can't help but think that Beyond's going to get acquired. Like, it's so cheap, you know, for someone to come in and buy. And another thing is, like, what's going to cause Marcus Lemonis to cash in on some of those options I think he has? I think the stock price has to go up to, like, wasn't it 40 or 70?
40, yeah, 40.
It was very high. Yeah, maybe it was like 40, high 40s.
I think
so there has to be a cycle, right? I mean, we even we did in fact see a cycle in overstock, which is interesting, you know, looking back at some of these timelines too. When we were down in, so not in September for the first Florida Pulte office event, when we were down there in Florida in December, okay, for the live show, the big one, overstock was squeezing to $30 a share at the time.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. It's very questionable with like what's going on here, right? And this, I think this was, I can't recall if Marcus Lemonis was in fact, I can't recall if Marcus Lemonis was, and you know, if he had replaced whoever it was on the board at the time yet. I just can't recall. But I do remember us being down there in December, looking at overstock one night, saying, what the fuck, it's at like $30 a share. So I do think that it's correlated, especially look, the stipulations that they had in place for people to bid on these IPs. I can't remember what it was. Travis remembers, like 100 and something different types of stipulations where, you know, you had to follow certain rules to be able to bid on the IPs, right? From
26 of them.
26. There you go. I was thinking
wait for the IPs. Are you talking? Wait, I'm sorry. Are you talking IPs? Or are you talking the?
So when they were bidding, as a stalking horse, what were how many stipulations? I thought there was like 47. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking 100. There was an absolute shitload. 26 is still a lot, right? And for a company that's in like this position of like we're bankrupt and shareholders aren't getting paid out and we can barely make ends meet and blah blah blah, you know, they would have sold Bye Bye Baby and the other IPs for a lot of money, and they wouldn't have put 26 27 stipulations around it as well either. So I do like to think that most certainly there is a reason for this, right? And
Right.
Beyond could be playing a major role. Now, obviously, the way that Marcus Simonis kind of conducts himself, I'm not really a fan of him. But
Yeah.
if he is playing a major role, I can respect that. And I think I think maybe they could be, right? I mean, the stock has to go to 40 for him to get paid out, right? He's buying. What you copy was showing insiders are buying like fucking crazy. Right. So, I mean, maybe we could, in fact, see something kind of transpire here.
Yeah.
What is
Sorry.
what's T plus 35 from RC's buy-in?
That's a good point. Yeah. What day was that?
RC bought here, 13D filed here. April 3rd, I think, was it?
April 2nd or 3rd or something like that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So if you had T plus 35,
that's literally when the whole fucking market turned around too, because April 6th was the bottom for crypto too. You copy. So like 3 or 4 days after his buy, the crypto completely reversed.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, April 6th. It's been in reversal ever since.
He bought on April 3rd. You're correct.
April 3rd. 3 days later, crypto starts to surge again. Interesting. I'm just trying to piece it together here.
May 8th is T plus 35. Which is almost 2 weeks from now on a Thursday.
You said it's May 8th?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 35 days. I mean,
so that'll land us on Thursday.
Watch for price action. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, I think GME beyond Bitcoin, I think there's gonna be a pullback. I don't know. I don't know why I'm keep seeing.
I think we're ready for the melt up. I think that that Trump's gonna cut a deal with China and we're gonna soar. Something's got to be going on. People keep bouncing ideas. People are talking China. Their embassy is saying, "Oh yeah, what Trump's saying is bullshit. He's not meeting with the president." I don't know. I think that there's things that are being kept under wraps, and this fucking market's about to implode. I mean, it has to top at some point, right? Before you see this like major meltdown, because obviously they're going to still have to deal with like some of these interest rates and things like that. And you need like a total market crash, for a lot of things to get passed in Congress and stuff for them to actually, make a move here. Interest rates for homes are like over 7% right now. So they got to be able to lower these interest rates somehow. And some people have speculated that maybe like a total market crash will cause this, right? I mean, I don't know. But either way, look at GameStop's price. It's still going up. We're still kind of tracking upwards. Bitcoin, crypto is kind of in this reversal here. We have, we have actually multiple people in the SEC now that are very, very bullish when it comes to crypto as well. Banks, a lot of stuff was getting passed. I had tweeted a couple things today where some of these like regulatory things when it comes to banks and cryptos are now going out the window. So now is the time, man, for like a major type of melt up here. And again, people tend to forget when all these stocks were kind of like sneezing, squeezing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, okay, in 2021, well, guess what? Crypto did the same thing. And a lot of other stocks across the market did too. So it's going to be a market-wide type of melt-up, I believe, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, I don't know. Like, I think you see, this is like a daily. This is, both of them are daily a GME. This is 2020. I think they're running same cycle. And when you look at daily, the RSI is already rolling up here, right? So you see there's like a big pump and down on the bottom of the RSI here. It looks very similar to this one, right? There was a dump, right? Go up and a sudden pull down, right?
Yes.
So we might be we already maybe passed that. We might already pass that. So maybe this thing maybe slowly incline. There might be some pullback up and down. And maybe by June, maybe something's gonna happen. Like when was the shareholder meeting again? Was it
June 12th?
June 12th. Okay,
right?
There you go. So so June 12th, something happened and the gap up.
I think it's
It
June
looks
12th.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, something happened maybe.
Also, one thing I want to share too, real quick, you copy since you have the charts
yeah.
out. Oops, that's not it. Hold on. Where is it? This one right here. Okay, so NoPi also posted this, which I thought was very interesting as well. This was right around the time that we got that tweet from Ryan Cohen, today, where he was basically pointing out, what he had made that comment there with, the tradition he was doing. And it says BH right on the end of it. Some people were encrypting it and whatever, but someone in the chat did say Berkshire Hathaway. And I will say that person could be onto something here, because Berkshire Hathaway went up 2.5% after hours right around that tweet when he said the BH on the end of it. So I'm just saying, man, maybe it could be implied as what some people are saying. Maybe it's a double meaning as well. But I think the timing is most certainly interesting, why Berkshire is making this like $20,000 move here, 2% after hours. Yeah, it's not like super substantial, but if you actually look at the message of what Ryan Cohen was saying, it is kind of interesting.
Oh, actually, by the way, Control Chaos, he shared what BH means here.
What did he say?
Maybe I can share this thing here. So he said,
yeah, people were saying it in the chat earlier. It's
like a Hebrew phrase.
Yeah,
or something.
thank God
or something.
Blessed in God.
Blessed is God. Yeah.
And he's wrapped up. Like, that's what I'm saying is like,
yeah, he's wrapped up.
Could it be this message that this is the gift?
Some
people are saying Ryan Cohen is the gift, right? Some people are saying when GameStop was pulling out the white knight, right? And there was like the butterfly knife. Some people believe maybe Ryan Cohen could be that white knight. I mean, I think that all the tinfoil, as crazy as it's been, right, over the years, there's some messaging going on here when it comes to Ryan Cohen. Ryan Cohen doesn't shit post. I mean, sure, he shit posts, but he shit posts with a reason, right? And I believe with some form of subliminal messaging as well. So
yeah, I mean this thing already has been like wrapped up, but they just have to kept it for 2 years. It looks like.
Yeah.
And yeah, and also I remember Pulti, I think he mentioned he came on your show. I remember he said like, oh, when he met RC at the what do you call that, the arena, where they play hockeys and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, like RC came with the religious people, right? Like not like business people, but they're like, he brought the religious people, which means that he's very religious person, right? He doesn't like only hang out with the business people. He hang out with religious people, and it's to me that it's very like he's very faithful. He believe in God. He trusts. He have a strong faith in religion. So, when you look at those kind of spiritual person like that, and who has a strong faith in religion, I think their mission, or they could say goal, or they could say mission, is not only just it's not just making themselves like money. They don't just want to make money for themselves, but also want to help the community, right? I'm pretty sure, maybe I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, he wants to help the community. He wants to reward the shareholders, right, who has been holding this for 2 years. And so yeah, I really hit me with that kind of message from Pulti. So yeah, I think we are pretty much wrapped up here.
He also said that Ryan Cohen plans 2 years ahead. That's the timeline that we're in right now, right?
Yes.
He also brought Larry Chang to the show, who was talking to a bunch of guys, and gals who invested, a lot of money into this quote unquote bankrupt, company. Right. And he's saying that you guys are the next Goldman Sachs and things like that. And, one thing that's always been very telling to me is that the fact that we got Larry Chang on the show, no other board member out there, from GameStop, it was Larry Chang specifically. And Larry Chang also is the only one out there who has, and again, none of the other board has stated this, even Ryan Cohen, that he's not involved in Bed Bath & Beyond, right? It's like at some point you have to wonder why he has to make these legal statements. Right. It's like, I think at times, like, you can tell, like, Larry's kind of sweating a little bit, man. No pie sweating with those fucking memes all the time on X and shit. Like, you can see, I don't know if it's just me, But it seems like sometimes Larry is sweating a little bit. And I think he gets a little worried and he has to like kind of state these things like, look, I
Yeah.
got nothing to do involved. I'm not involved in this. I have no idea what's going on because he is just the board member of GameStop, right? He could potentially not be involved in Teddy. And we know that Ryan Cohen, okay, has never directly come out and stated, I have nothing at this point in time at all further to do with Bed Bath & Beyond. We do know that he sold his shares. A lot of shows out there, they run with the thing of, well, he sold his shares, things like that. Yeah, sure he did. But you tell me why he keeps popping up in these fucking bankruptcy dockets for the last 2 years then. If he sold and walked the other way and was sued for a, for like this lawsuit, whatever, sure. I mean, that's one lawsuit he's being sued for. He sold the shares, he's out. He wouldn't be listed as a co-debtor or creditor, an interested party, his name's being on certain water bills, at certain Bye-Bye Babies. Something else is going on here. And again, the fact that he files these Teddy trademarks a couple days before he sells, I think is very telling as well too. So, I don't know. I think we are in fact witnessing the birth of Jamaica, right? I mean, we could in fact be very early investors in this Jamaica, right? While also having our investment in GameStop, right? So it is all very exciting if you ask me. But some people out there will sit here and say, well, why hasn't it happened? Why hasn't it happened? I think that there's a process. I think that the bankruptcy, you can't really speed up this process. And there's a lot of evil individuals out there that want to slow this thing down. Okay, to the point where people get tired and they give up. We will win this in the end of this. I'm telling you, fellas, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind. The signs that have been kind of showed to all of us throughout the last couple of years that this thing is happening, but nobody can tell you what day, right? Nobody truly knows that day.
And also, this is the second one. The Control Chaos shared with me. He shared these things, the mensch, or what this means in Jewish religion.
Honorable.
Yeah, and then I like this word, repairing the world, right? Loving kindness, and it's like, how I've seen an interview or some video that this non from Catholic, like he talks about how the last year election, Trump, like it's like a spiritual war, like a battle, right? Between the deep state or the Q whatever, and I think this whole thing, the BBY stuff, GME, whatever, all this kind of stuff, it's like, it's really the forces versus forces battle, right? So, since whatever years, 2008, even before, a lot of naked shorts and, illegal naked shorts, and they want to, they want to damage the U.S. companies. They don't give a shit about the corporation. They just want to take advantage of the people's money. All they think about is themselves, right? But this active investors, Trump, Q, whatever, this thing, they comes in and then they want to clean this thing up and they want to repair the world. And I really like this word, and I just want to say this before I end up. So yeah, wrap this up. So, but yeah, I think we are about to find out very soon.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add, you copy? We're all ears here tonight. We got like 1 or 2 more posts. We're going to take a look at them. We'll close up the show. But anything else you want to add, you copy? I mean, a lot of. Oh yeah, what was your opinion on the new ETF? Did you have any at all?
Oh, I mean, that's just
GMEU. The tinfoil behind that with Roaring Kitty.
The U.
Well, he had posted. Well, yeah, that's actually a great point. Yeah, with the U that fell off of that pizza thing.
Yeah.
Some people were thinking it was Unity. Maybe it was GMEU because the episode is titled Jurassic Bark. And the in the name GMEU, it's like T-Rex long or something, right, Travis? It says something like that.
Really?
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe
correct,
maybe that could be implied there, right? I mean, I don't know, but I do think the timing of this ETF is highly suspect as well.
Well, I mean, I don't know who created this, but
some guy, I can't remember
Titus,
his name.
something Titus.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
But I'm talking about the ETF. Like, was it some fund?
Yeah.
Or,
like Titus.
Titus Capital or something like that.
Okay, so they made it. Okay, so I don't know who that is, but I don't know if that's connected to RK or something. But yeah, basically it's a leverage, right? So they want to short squeeze even higher, or I don't know.
Some people are saying that it can contribute to the gamma as well, which is highly interesting too. But I don't know. How this thing will kind of play out here, right? it's exciting for sure. So, anything else you want to add? You copy. We're going to take a couple look at a couple other posts
Yeah,
as we
that's
head
pretty
out.
much it. So yeah, thanks for having me, and I'm excited for what's coming.
Right
Maybe
on.
in May. Hopefully, we can hear some announcements soon. But yeah, are you gonna do a 24 hours live stream, PP?
Yeah, as soon as it's fucking announced that this thing's done, we're getting the finest fucking whiskey that we can
All right.
buy. All right,
All right, let's
in the
do that.
country, fellas. It's got to be the finest goddamn whiskey we're gonna have, and we're gonna have a goddamn good night here at the PP show when it's all said and done. Cigars all around, man. I'm gonna buy the
right.
most expensive cigars, most expensive bottle of fucking whiskey, man. We're all gonna fucking celebrate here at the
I'll
show.
be with you.
Cool. Right on. All right. Well, you copy. Appreciate having you on. Appreciate the TA, man. Enjoy the rest of the weekend and chat. Let's get some love for you copy on his way out.
All right, have a good weekend, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. Take care, man. See ya. All right. You heard from you copy this evening. We got a couple more posts and we'll call it a night here. This is what I was referring to here when you copy actually just left. This was a user who had posted this. Sorry, let me close out some of these tabs here because they're getting a little bit much. PCRs, we're done with that. We're done with that. Done with this. Done with that. And we'll keep that up. Okay. All right. This was a post from another individual. Greg is Kitty. It says breaking news: GameStop GMEU, a T-Rex 2X GameStop ETF is set for trading today. It says here, last meme from the cat had a song, "I Will Wait for You." We also know that the U, this is, I think, someone else had made this video, but we do know in this video, we'll mute this here. We do know in this video that the U falls off of the pizza, right? There's the U. Some people at the time were saying it's Unity. It's Unity. I don't know. The fact that the episode is called Jurassic Bark, and the fact that I don't even know how Roaring Kitty would find out that there was going to be this like ETF launching. Again, it's very questionable what's actually going on here. But I do think that this is most certainly has to do with it because it was a very long wait, as you can see here. So I think this was the very last post from Roaring Kitty, and we haven't seen him since. So obviously, we're due for another tweet very soon when it comes to Roaring Kitty. Will it be this weekend? Is anyone's guess. But anything that you guys would like to add about the episode being titled Jurassic Bark and it also having T-Rex in it? Maybe this is more for House Cat and his tinfoil. And his what'd you say, your schizophrenia? Maybe this is perfect for your schizophrenia. Anything you want to add, House Cat?
I think you nailed it, man. It looks like it could be the GMEU, but I mean, like
I think so.
There's so much. There's so much other stuff going on in my head, man. You don't want to hear it, bro.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, just quiet down those voices, man, in your head. Let's take a look here.
Hold on.
Okay, yeah. Did you want me to pull it back up? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you still have it up. I just want to say that the interesting thing about that post, it was posted exactly at 7 p.m. on a day we said that we're not having, or you said you're not having a show.
I do. It was 8. It says it was 8:25. Oh no, it was 7. Yeah, you're right. 7 p.m. Yeah.
On the money.
Yeah, the January 22nd we had in the stream. I can't remember what was going on that weekend. Maybe family was in town or there was something. That was a Wednesday. I did miss that day. I remember that. Yeah, when that
I mean, we have pretty much 2 confirmed posts that we're talking about the PP show from Roaring Kitty. This possibly a third. Yeah, this one's hit or miss.
Well, also, if you actually look up the PP show on X, okay, not the PP Seed show, the one that we have. If you look up the PP show, it is a pizza Twitter. Can you pull that up real quick for us, Travis? Because I thought maybe he was talking about this before, because obviously he's in front. And again, I think that a lot of these memes have double meanings, possibly, right? Panucci's pizza, the U falls off. Maybe, it does have to. It's Jurassic Bark. It's T-Rex, 2X long ETF here. Maybe that could be it, right? But if you look up the PP show, Travis, it is a pizza Twitter account. Do you see it on there?
Can you see my screen?
PP was having snoo.
Is that Pornhub?
Here it is right here. See this? The PP show. And this was, when was this Twitter account created?
Oh, I don't know.
It will tell you right there. Hold on. Scroll down. Oh, October 2009. So they were a pizza place. They were like a pizza show at one point, which is kind of
Wait,
funny.
this is not your
No. This is not mine. No, this is something that I had pointed out a while ago around this time. And I thought it was weird too. I was like, okay, let's say Roaring Kitty was talking about the show that night, because I remember we had taken off the 22nd, the Wednesday, and I saw that and I thought maybe he was talking about the PP show, but you can see it's called the Peasant Pizza Show, and they review pizzas. So, and he's out front of a Panucci's Pizza. I don't know. But I like the fact that it could be about the T-Rex GME thing too. But maybe it is about the PP show. I don't
Maybe
know.
it is about Jurassic Park. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it is
Double
about
meaning,
you
right?
falling off or you coming to. Who knows?
But either way, it is kind of funny that we're not original. We were, there was a pizza show before us, man. The PP show, which was a pizza show. I mean, I don't even. Why the fuck would you call it the fucking PP show? I have no idea.
I don't know, but I'm hungry now. I want pizza.
All right, so we have that one. Obviously, there was one. Oh yeah, there was a little bit of tinfoil that I really liked on this one too. That someone had. This was Conspiracy Kitty for our tinfoil people out there. I don't know how no one ever made this connection to the Teddy books. But obviously this was one of the posts that Ryan Kitty had posted on the left where, the guy is in the chair, he leans forward. It's a red chair. Well, we see the same red chair in the Teddy books as well. And not only that, you actually see that the chair he's sitting in is actually the exact same type of chair here. He is holding a drawing of Teddy is what it says. It says here, this is interesting. The Teddy books came out before the RK tweet. In RK's latest stream, his main talking point was that RC's going to his main talking point was what's RC going to do with the company? Could this be a clue? RC's kids holding a drawing that says Teddy Holdings. I don't think anyone ever made this connection. And again, I think it's very interesting kind of analyzing a lot of this stuff, looking back at some of the books, things like that. He could have in fact been referencing Teddy for all we know. So just an interesting snippet there. We do have a hype date, all right, as early as tomorrow, and 27th. So something to look forward to, all right?
We have a hype date on a Saturday?
We do. So you remember when Roaring Kitty was posting he had posted a lot of Endgame stuff. There was some clips where like they're running into like in the battle and stuff like that. There's obviously like the Thanos hand, stuff like that. So it looks like here April 26th is when Endgame officially hit theaters, which is tomorrow. I don't know. Again, it's a Saturday, obviously you can't really bet, because the markets are closed now, but if it happens, it happens. But there is a hype date for the 26th. And also someone else here attached. Who was this? This was Lord Farquaad. We also have April 27th listed here as well, which was Infinity War.
Who posted this?
This was Lord Fuckwad.
Farquaad.
Oh, my bad.
You need to watch Shrek.
I thought that's how he was saying it. I thought he was making his name like Fuckwad. My bad, man. Farquaad. Yeah, I got it.
It's the guy
but
from
it's
Shrek.
Good tinfoil. It's good tinfoil. Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course. The guy from Shrek. The king.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, the king. Yeah. But anyways, something to look forward to. Endgame was on the 26th. And Infinity War was on the 27th. Okay, so that would land us at both Saturday and Sunday. Scott O'Neill with the 5. Appreciate the love, Scott. Jurassic Bark, Dire Wolf Resurrection news this week with Extinct Wolf that came back. That's a great fucking point, man. I like it. Because in the episode with Futurama, it's all about bringing back this extinct dog. Maybe he really is a fucking time traveler, man. I mean, that's fucking insane, honestly. I can't believe that. The Dire Wolf Resurrection. And that actually happened recently, too. Like, the post that he made was 2 months ago, and we didn't hear about the Dire Wolf thing, I think, until last month or early April is when we started hearing about that. So, that is some good shit, man, might I add. PP's never seen Shrek? Yeah, I've seen Shrek a couple times. The wife loves it. All right. There was one more post I want to take a look at here. Let me go ahead and share this screen here, and then we should be calling it a night here soon. Pang made this post I thought was very good. It says, "Did we miss something big?" This is regarding Ryan Cohen's case dismissal motion 133, and GameStop posting this at 1:33 a.m. Okay. Here you actually have what he has attached here. This is the Trevor and McFadden case. Case was filed back in August 23rd of 2022, nearly 3 years ago. It's still ongoing. We do see here, okay, look at this section right here. This was filed on Thursday, April 3rd. Didn't we just talk with you, Copy? April 3rd was the day that Ryan Cohen bought his shares. Okay. So I think that's very key as well. It says minute order to show cause. It says the parties were directed to submit a joint proposed schedule for further proceedings within 14 days of the court's ruling on the 133 motion for reconsideration or adjunction of a Rule 23F appeal, whichever came later. See minute order 10/17/2024. So one thing I want to point out too is that obviously we did see Ryan Cohen buy on this day of April 3rd as well. When we saw this, Pang is basically saying that GameStop had tweeted this at 1:33 a.m. 12:33 Central. But if you're looking at what is the time ahead of us, ET time, it would have been 1:33 actually, right on the dot. So I don't know. Pang could be onto something here. Maybe it does have to do with that. I do find it interesting too that on this exact same day, the board settles, and we also get a buy from Ryan Cohen as well. And then we see the crypto market start to melt up. So I think it's very interesting now. Cactus says, "Are we seriously talking about June now? For fuck's sake, just give us our fucking money and let it publicly June." I don't think anyone can speed it up, man. That's the thing. I mean, this is a fucking process. There's a lot of people are going to lose their homes, man, that shorted this fucking thing. And they're going to lose their businesses, and these hedge funds are going to get liquidated. They will do everything that they can to delay this thing. That's why you've seen this 2-year delay with all of this shit. Lancer says, let it go to 2030. I don't think it's going to 2030. I don't think it's going more than, I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but it's got to be soon. I don't want to say a date and then I fuck it all up. Go ahead, Travis.
Can we talk about that? Like all right. So Ken Griffin, the guy who is supposedly like this weird, thief of Wall Street, who might be a sociopath. We don't know. Speculation. I'm just saying, calling it like I see it. He made a public appearance and did like an interview thing.
Ken Griffin?
Yeah, this was recently, and he was talking about how, the brand of the United States U.S. Treasuries. And
I saw that. He's an asshole.
Okay, but when's the last time you saw Ken Griffin do any interviews?
Man, I couldn't even tell you. Maybe back in 2021, maybe? I can't remember.
Right? It seems like he only comes out of the woodworks and does these when he's in dire situations. And I think all this volatility in the markets that is being created by these tariffs or whatever is causing him headaches, and he's having to come out and say something publicly.
It's fucking with those algos.
I think it's fucking with him. Yeah. I think that's exactly what's happening, because you haven't seen him or heard from him in years. And now all of a sudden he comes out and he does a very private interview. And the last time he did one, he looked like he was not healthy. Because he looked like he was in a very stressful environment for months at a time and was trying to figure out his way out. He figured it out temporarily, and now he comes out and does another interview. It's almost as if he's coming out and letting us know he's not doing so well. I mean, pay attention to the details. Pay attention to what did Pulte call it? The empty space?
Yes.
Empty space. Attention, man.
Pay attention to empty space. We had like 3 years of empty space without
I know.
King Griffin. It
Yeah.
was fantastic. We got to talk shit about him. It was amazing.
We still talk shit about him.
Everybody kind of created this insane persona about who he actually was.
Right.
He's kind of known as a sociopath on Twitter now.
Right. Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm not speaking on my behalf at all. This is not my words. I'm just reiterating what I read online, and I'm using that for full disclosure.
And I want to add too, you have Jim Cramer at the same time as well, like going, publicly being like, I don't want to own GameStop when the company's sitting on $6 billion in cash, basically no fucking debt, and they're turning into, they're basically transforming right into like a holding company at this point. So I don't know. It's really weird shit. But I like what you're saying about Ken Griffin and some of these algos. Like, you're right. Like one day the market's like losing $1 trillion in value. Then all of a sudden it's adding $1 trillion in value and it's going left and right. I mean, it's so unpredictable right now. I like it. I think that it kind of adds this element of, yes, it's been kind of too easy for these market makers and these short sellers to profit off of us. Let's keep cranking it up to where they don't even know what the fuck they're doing, to where they start losing a lot of this money, right? And I think that's why you see Ken Griffin, the fact that he has the nerve to say that, his statement, I can't remember what it was, something about the brand of America or stuff like that. When he sits there and he's robbing the American people blind every day, I mean, he's a piece of shit, man. So.
Yeah, and he was saying something about ruining the brand of the United States Treasuries. He's short the United States Treasuries.
He's an idiot, man. He's a fucking idiot. He's an absolute asshole. Is what he is. Right?
I have no public opinion myself about.
Well, you should.
I'm just restating what I read on the internet.
We'll take a look at this. This is our new SEC chair, Paul Atkins. We'll take a look at this video. Any questions or anything you guys want to add, and then we'll call it a night here. Let's see our new SEC chair, Paul Atkins, man, his first public remarks at the SEC Crypto Task Force Roundtable. Let's hear it.
Thank you all very much for coming today and listening online out in the internet land. And so welcome to the third roundtable of the SEC's Crypto Task Force. And as Richard was saying, I really do salute the commission and taking this initiative on, and Commissioner Ueda for acting on it, and obviously for Commissioner Peirce and all the staff's work. But so this is now my fourth day back at the commission after two prior stints here, and I really am looking forward to working here and eager to tackle long festering issues such as the regulatory treatment of digital assets and distributed ledger technologies, and working with my fellow commissioners and the staff in doing it.
And I just want to add too, one thing that we've been seeing recurring is this talk of digital assets. GameStop's been talking about digital assets. Beyond is tokenizing these assets. So it's very interesting seeing Mr. Paul Atkins come in first day, at the SEC, addressing, obviously the public here regarding digital assets. I think they are a major move here, right? Regarding some of this stuff. So I do think it all is very interesting.
Soliciting outside input as well, obviously. So in addition, my warmest personal thanks go to Commissioner Peirce for her principled and tireless advocacy for common sense crypto policy within the United States. It's no wonder that she justly has earned the title of Crypto Mom, and Commissioner Peirce is certainly the right person to lead the effort to come up with a rational regulatory framework for crypto assets in their markets. And thanks also to the panelists, both in this panel and the one to come, for volunteering their time and expertise on a Friday afternoon to come here and join us in Washington. So this is important work as entrepreneurs across the United States are harnessing blockchain technology to modernize aspects of the financial system. I expect huge benefits from this market innovation in terms of efficiency, cost reduction, transparency, and risk mitigation. Market participants engaging with this technology deserve clear regulatory rules of the road. Innovation, unfortunately, has been stifled for the last several years due to market and regulatory uncertainty that, unfortunately, the SEC has fostered. So I look forward to engaging with market participants and working with colleagues in President Trump's administration and Congress to establish a rational, fit-for-purpose framework for crypto assets. So today's roundtable is focused on the challenges that SEC registrants face when attempting to safely custody crypto assets for their customers in compliance with the federal securities laws. For example, are changes needed to the custody rules under the Exchange Act, the Advisors Act, or the Investment Company Act to accommodate crypto assets and blockchain technology? Is the special purpose broker-dealer, so-called regime, workable for market participants, or is a new crypto asset broker-dealer framework needed? The market itself seems to indicate that the current framework badly needs attention, so you all, especially on the panels, can help give us direction in that regard. So thank you all for dedicating your Friday afternoon to helping us address these very important issues. So I look forward to a productive discussion and so you all can get to it. So thank you very much.
All right, you heard it from Paul Atkins. I mean, again, I think that there's some stuff to take away here with what's going on. I mean, a huge major shift in the financial markets here. I mean, this is the time to be alive. This is the greatest time to be alive, man. You know, no one ever thought that Bitcoin and crypto would kind of see what it is today. The fact that we've had so much fraud across these markets, these dark pools, things like that. I like the guy, man. I think that he most certainly could do something here when it comes to the SEC. Travis, go ahead if you wanted to add anything.
I loved everything that he said. I just hope that the comment about Hester Pierce being the crypto mom is a backhanded comment and a slap across the face to her, because she has been the worst person for crypto advancement and ensuring that our markets do get to blockchain. Other than that, I loved almost everything that he said. Spot on, and I'm hoping that it was a sarcastic backhanded comment. That's all.
Yeah, right on. Excellent. House Cat, you have anything to add there? There was actually one last post I am going to just breeze through if you guys have just like 5 quick minutes, and then we'll call it a night. It is just that post regarding the GMEU stuff with Jake. I'll just take a look at the first post he made. House Cat, do you want to add anything with new Paul Atkins SEC chair, man?
No, he sounds like a good guy, man. I like him.
Yeah. I like people who are bullish on the crypto aspect, because this is a financial sector that hasn't been given enough credit. And the fact that you have a lot of companies out there, a lot of stocks that want to tokenize their shares and digitalize their assets, you have to have like a bullish type of like regulatory agency that wants to do those types of things, right? Because obviously you get slowed down, and look at all these lawsuits that they were kind of throwing around left and right, over the last couple of years with like a different type of regulatory people leading it. It's slowed down everything. Let's take a very quick look at this GMEU, and then we'll call it a night here. This is from Jake 2B. He says, over the years, GME investors have been very acute at observing when something seems off. Today's launch of GMEU is no different. And what a joke GMEU is. He says, marketed as a 2x long ETF, I can't help but wonder if the real reason that this instrument was made was for the creation and redemption misuse by authorized participants. Funny, the same ETF Opportunities Trust that made this GameStop ETF also has one for Tesla and Microsoft, the two equities that randomly had crypto tokens made for them in Switzerland last July, exactly 35 days after the June GME spike. What are the odds? No, GMEU holds only 10,000 shares of GameStop, or should I say they held, because yesterday they already converted all of them into a new instrument. He has a screenshot attached here. You guys should be able to see this, where they were in fact kind of converted here. Okay. It says now they have 18,443 of whatever that is. Either it's a swap or a systemic withdrawal plan, neither of which is consistent with a bullish outlook on GME. If it is a systemic withdrawal plan, that means they will periodically sell GME shares to pay themselves on top of their management fee. Before you dismiss this and think, oh, it's just twice as much and this is a 2x ETF, Ask yourself, where did the doubling of value come from? How was $250,000 converted into $500,000 with only 10,000 shares and then result in 18,443 shares, but not 20,000? And how did 10,000 turn into 18,443 without adding money or shares? Laugh out loud. The additional value must come from somewhere. Hint, it's the swap. He says they do admit in their prospectus that the GMEU instrument is designed to be actively traded intraday, and that holding it for any longer could result in losses even if GME stays flat. They go on to say, but let's give them a chance and have a look in the MSTR ETF that they launched on September 18th, 2024. It's called MSTU, and let's have a look at what it holds. So you can see here, this is the fund that is holding all of these funds here, as you can see, okay? It goes on to say, yes, TRS stands for total return swaps, and look at the weighting, 276.57%, if you were wondering. RECV receiver MSTU, the 2X long ETF, MSTR EQ MicroStrategy equity. So it looks like the ETF was used for total return swaps, plus has the benefits to APs for unlimited creation and redemption for when they may need MSTR shares. Tesla, same total return swaps. NVIDIA, same swaps. Have a look for yourself, which he has attached here. I think there's some screenshots down, or maybe he attached the screenshots to the next one. But it says here, to summarize, I personally do not find that this is an appealing instrument to invest in GME exposure with. Let's take a look at the screenshot. That does not, I guess this is just their website, maybe. So it goes on to say, to summarize, I personally do not find this an appealing instrument to invest in GME exposure with. And to be clear, neither does the ETF issuer. They state themselves that this is not the same as investing in the underlying, and that the main goal of the instrument is to provide 2x intraday exposure. It says, lastly, to be clear, in my opinion, this is incredibly exciting for future GME price action. This is yet another ETF that will have to have quarterly rebalancing, and APs will have to get real shares to satisfy any potential ETF FTDs. I don't think the issuer will allow the participants to not follow Rule 204. They don't want to lose their special issuer status with the SEC and risk not collecting those sweet management fees on these instruments. It says only 10,000 real shares of GME make up this ETF. But remember, with creation and redemption permissions, authorized participants can potentially convert a near limitless supply into GME for themselves. However, what goes down must come up, because in this theoretical, in this hypothetical, those same APs will be forced to satisfy GMEU's FTDs for quarterly ETF rebalancing, which I believe is true as well. And speaking of which, wouldn't it be thrilling to see some of these rebalancing events occur with GameStop's current cash position? It says, in modified investment policy, including a BTC Treasury reserve and other crypto assets, which trade 24/7, and can have unpredictable impacts on the stock price of the company holding them. I am not suggesting anyone invest in any financial instrument. If you are considering investing in GMEU, read the prospectus, understand the management fees and performance of the instrument over time. I don't think anyone's investing in this shit. Buy GME. There you have it. I like the stock. Many people like the stock. If you like the stock, then right the fuck on. Anything else you guys want to add as we start to wrap up tonight's show? Not a whole lot. Obviously, some question with PCRs, some question with some of these filings here. How much is the settlements going to be? Why it hasn't happened. But I think, one thing that's very bullish tonight is, obviously, I think Ryan Cohen knew we were streaming. And again, had this kind of photo post of him wrapped up. So maybe it does mean something is wrapping up here, and he wanted a lot of our eyes on it tonight. What would you guys like to add as we start to wrap up here? Any thoughts on what we just read if you want to add? If not, we'll do some closing thoughts. Let's hear it, fellas. What do you have for me?
Travis? Okay, I'll go first.
Everyone's ready for the weekend.
No, you.
All right, go ahead, House Cat. You got it.
Play video games, have fun. Enjoy. Like, honestly, man, like, it's happening. It's fucking happening.
It is. Yeah. People don't get it.
Like,
yes, there you have. That's the fucking energy we need. People don't get it. Yeah.
They don't get it, but like we fucking won. Like,
yes,
it's over. It's over. Just relax.
Just chill, burn some time, go walk the dog. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen on everyone's time that they want it to. It's going to take some time. Let these things resolve. I think it's happening too. House Cat, anything else you want to add?
Fuck, I love you guys. All right.
All right.
Peace
Right
out.
on. All right. You heard it from House Cat. Chat, let's get some love for House Cat on his way out. Take care,
guys.
man. Enjoy the weekend.
Take it easy.
All right, let's hear it, Travis. What would you like the good people at home to know as we start to head into the weekend, man? People are tired. People are fed up. What do you want them to know as we head into the weekend, man? Let's hear it.
I'll start with this, and this is a little tent for anybody who wants to look into it, but the Shoreline at Solemia is a beautiful hotel. Now, people are fed up with what? Because time passed?
It's taken a while, things like that. But, I think excellence takes time, right? I mean, you want this done right. You don't want it done, choppy where it's not a good launch, right? I mean, this has to be done by the rule book sometimes, right?
Yeah, but I kind of knew going into this about, whenever almost a year and a half ago now, when the bankruptcy was getting finalized and the final plan was done, we had three options. It was either white knight, lawsuits, or we lawyer up. We didn't really lawyer up. Lawsuits came back pretty favorable. There's still a potential for a white knight in the background. And then we have all these other things going on with, are they PLRs? Am I saying that right? I might be
PCRs.
off. No, not PCRs. The private letters from the IRS.
Oh, gotcha.
That are coming out. That very well, the timelines line up. Everything's there. There's a 91% chance that it relates to Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, everything's lining up that we could be sitting pretty. And now we have this photo of Ryan Cohen, which he doesn't do a lot of activity on Twitter, rightfully so. There's a lot of creepy people out there, myself included. I've already identified exactly where it was, when it was, kind of the location of it. You got to be careful. And so I understand why he keeps his privacy, especially for himself and his family.
Of course.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
But for him to even comment on this, or for him to even take a photo and let the person know, hey, yeah, you can post this photo, just do it like a few hours after you leave here or whatever. I get it. But posting on it, like, I can't say it, what he posted is kind of, making light of the situation, but also, thank God that we're here and things are going smooth. He's obviously still being himself. He has this satirical, dry, dark sense of humor.
Yeah, he loves trolling. He's like all of us. He just loves just fucking around.
He's still having fun.
Yeah,
and he's doing that publicly on Twitter. And anybody who was nervous, anybody who was under an immense amount of pressure, wouldn't be doing things like that publicly.
Right. Yeah.
He's telling us things in the empty space without telling us that he's like, everything's going great over here. I'm just going to have fun right now. And he's able to do that. And that, I think, is the most important piece. The pieces are falling into place. He's right where he wants to be. And he can go on Twitter and go on X, whatever you want to call it, and be himself and be a little funny and say something a little offhanded, dark sense of humor, who he has publicly stated that's kind of how he is. I agree with a lot of people that we are where we need to be. This whole, being fed up and things aren't happening quick enough. Be like, that's why I posted that tweet of the dude just chilling, just biding time. Relax, sit back, shake a leg. Things will happen when they happen.
Yeah.
You can't do anything now. And I know it's been a long time, but delayed gratification is an important thing. Just wait. We're not wrong.
No.
And if we were wrong, we wouldn't have all these shills trying to tell us that we're wrong. And we wouldn't have shills still trying relentlessly on X to come after us and then not show up on the PPShow. Corey.
Yeah, where is this fucking guy?
Where you at, bro?
That's what I'm saying. These guys never want to show up. They never look. Okay, I get it. Don't reveal your first name, but they never show up, like, even on a camera and shit. It's like, at some point you have to wonder. I mean, in the world of AI and bots and all this shit, you don't know if like these are like you're actually having a fucking real conversation with someone on the other end, right? I mean, it's very hard to tell, but that's why I like the way the show is formatted. You know, turn on your camera, come on, and you know, if all these people want to say that, you know, all these nasty things about us and other investors and things, that they're the ones who are fucking scared, hiding behind their keyboards, hiding behind not posting what their name is or their face. You know, these guys are the real pussies. We come here every day, every week, and we give our opinion. And guess what? You know, we as investors put our money down. We took a bet, and I think it was a pretty damn good bet, if you ask me. Right, the attention that this show has got over the last couple years, I think is most certainly not some kind of weird coincidence. The fact that Pulte had a very strong liking to the show, and you know, the people that he kind of brought onto the show as well, like mainly being Larry Chang. I mean, no other retail investor out there has ever got an interview with Larry Chang, and he does the PP show. Man, just so many things that are just like it's unexplainable, right? And right now, I mean, all of us can feel it. We're like, we know it's right. We know that we are correct, but it just hasn't caught up yet. But I think it will. And I think that there's a lot of stuff that's holding this stuff back. But as soon as those things are greenlit, and hell, maybe those things are wrapped up now based off this photo that we saw today with RC, pretty soon we'll be celebrating, man. And we'll never have to worry about this hell that we went through for the last few years, man. So, you know, just try to stick in there and be patient, man. Just like, you know, what Backstage RC used to come and post that if poem, right? You know, if you can, I don't know. It says something about waiting and being patient and shit like that. You guys really need to be patient. Yeah, hell, even I sometimes get antsy, but I'm excited, and I think that we're in good hands. And I think that this is going to be literally, you're never going to see a play like this ever again, fellas, in your lives, ever again. So
very well said.
Yeah.
And I will follow that up with my closing thoughts of saying, you know, maybe this is wrapped up. And maybe it is all wrapped up and we just have to wait a little bit longer. But again, you know, I said it on Twitter. I'll say it here because somebody else won't show up to do it. You know, I'll put my real name out there. I'll put my face out there. I'll put my integrity on the line. I stand by what I have researched, what I have done my due diligence on, and what I put my money in. I've never told anybody else what to do with their money, and I don't care what anybody else does with their money. And I think that's the difference between what's going on Twitter with a lot of these shills and what's going on with us is all of us are in here. We knew the risk. We made our bets. We placed our bets, and we're sitting back, relaxing, and waiting for the outcome. But I'm here with my integrity on the line saying, I believe in this. I'm here. I'm willing to come on here. I'm willing to show up. And I'm willing to see this thing through. So let's see this thing through. I do think it's going to take, you know, it's been a long time. It's going to take some more time. I don't think we're at the end of the road yet. There's some few more lawsuits, a few more cases that are legal proceedings that need to take place in May. So sit back, relax, enjoy the ride, because it's always tomorrow until it's today. And one day it'll be yesterday. And when that day comes, we can all celebrate together.
Well said. All right. Well, you heard from Travis. Travis, enjoy the rest of the night and hope to see you next time. And chat, let's get some love for Travis on his way out. Take care, buddy.
Great seeing you. Chat, love y'all. Y'all take care. Everybody have a great night, great weekend. Peace.
See you, Travis. Take care. There you have it, man. The PP Show. We got together, we talked some DD, hell, even some of the fellows showed up here this evening to lend their opinion, man. You know, I think that truly things are coming for us, fellas. Yeah, you know, things have taken time, and some people have given up, and some people cry out, you know, why the fuck hasn't this happened yet? Nobody has an answer for you, man. I mean, you know, and if someone out there says, you know, it's on this day, it's going to happen exactly on this day, they don't know either. This will happen when all things are pretty much in place here, which I think they are now, right? The fact that, like, you know, Ryan Cohen can quite literally just kind of hit the button here and things can get on a road, you know, and most likely, you know, we also have potential that Carl Icahn's involved here, right? And no, everybody keeps wondering what the fuck Carl is doing. His stock price is down. He owns nearly 90% of his stock price. His stock price is down nearly 90% as well. And most people think that he's just gonna, I don't know, just like not do anything about it. I don't know. It's fucking crazy if you ask me. So I think that things are coming. I think that Roaring Kitty watches the show. I think he's pretty active. I think I don't think he misses any show, to be honest with you. Maybe he does. But I think that big things are coming for a lot of us, man. And I think that it has been a long time coming. So again, buckle the fuck up, fellas. Be patient, because like House Cat says, and like many other has said, including myself, it is happening. And there's quite literally nothing that they can do to stop this from happening, fellas. So with that being said, love you all. Enjoy the rest of the night. Enjoy the weekend, fellas. Can't wait to see you guys next week. And with that being said, enjoy the dildo slap. Love you all. Big shout out to our sponsor out there, Black Widow Tech. Again, if you want to launch your own AI or prototype or app out there, go on down to blackwidowtech.com/ThePPShow and throw them your ideas. Love you all. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the dildo slap on the way out. We'll see you then. Take care. Love you all. Peace.